Hey, some friends and I just played a big gay game of Dungeons & Dragons as a fundraiser for Seattle Children's Hospital. Big thanks to comedian Bryan Safi, critic Carlos Maza, writer Anthony Oliveira, and scholar Bryan Wuest for helping us raise over $3,000 for the kids. And if you want to donate, you still can at bit.ly/extralifeseattle. We had a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoy watching. And if you'd like an audio version, you can find that on my podcast, The Sewers of Paris. There's a link to the episode in the description. Also, if you like queer D&D adventures, you might like our show Dungeons and Drag Queens, featuring 4 queens playing a D&D adventure live on stage. You can find info on that at dungeondrag.com. And now, on with the show. And here we are. Everybody, you are live. Thank you again for joining.
Hi,
thanks for having us.
Hi there.
So excited.
Yay! So I'm Matt Baum. I'm going to be the Dungeon Master for this D&D game, and I'm going to be live streaming for 24 hours. And let's have you guys introduce yourselves, starting with Carlos.
Hi, I'm Carlos Maza. I work at Vox.com, and I am normally a Dungeon Master, so all my players are watching me right now, making sure that I don't screw up and embarrass them, and I'm very anxious.
All right, great. And Bryan? Bryan Wuest. We've got 2 Bryans, so let's start with Bryan Wuest.
Yeah, I'm Bryan Wuest. I'm doing my PhD at UCLA in film studies, and I am playing D&D in my parents' guest room in North Carolina.
Fantastic. And Anthony?
I'm Anthony Oliveira. Hi. I'm a PhD at University of Toronto, and I'm meakoopa on Twitter.
Fantastic. And Bryan Safi?
I'm Bryan Safi. I co-host Throwing Shade, and this is I'm brand new to D&D, so I hope I win.
That's how it works.
We're all winners. Friendship is the greatest reward.
Famous last words.
We're all winners, and then we die. Typically, the Dungeon Master does not die, but anything's possible today.
We'll see.
Challenge accepted.
So we're doing this to benefit Seattle Children's Hospital. And so thanks to all you guys for participating here. Thanks to everybody who's donated. Thanks to everybody in the chat. If you'd like to chip in a few bucks to Seattle Children's, you can go to bit.ly/extralifeseattle, and there's a little donate button there. Seattle Children's does some amazing and important work. And this Extra Life stream is part of a whole phenomenon around the world. People are going to be live streaming today, raising money for the Miracle Children's Network. So huge thanks to everyone who's donated. Before the stream even started, we were a little more than halfway to our goal for the entire stream, which is,
Wow.
I know, fantastic. So everyone has been just incredibly generous. And I'm not sure if you guys who are watching are able to hear this, but every now and then you'll hear like little boops and bleeps from the stream, which means that people are either donating or subscribing.
Awesome.
Or whatever. So I may make a startled look every now and then because the noise scares the heck out of me every time it happens. So yeah, we're going to be continuing on with the live stream after Dungeons and Dragons. We're going to go down for just like a minute or two while we switch over, and then we're going to have more games throughout the rest of the stream. So stick around for some Smash Brothers, some Mario Kart. We've got some Jackbox. We're going to be playing stuff online. So if you guys who are in the D&D party, if you want to continue playing, a lot of the games that we're going to be doing are things that viewers can just play along with. If you've got a Switch or if you're doing Jackbox, you can just pop in. So we'll have all the details on that following the stream. And we've also got special guests dropping into the studio, by which I mean the apartment where I live. We're going to have some special guests popping by for a pajama party around 7 p.m. Pacific. So that's about that. We're just checking on a few stream health things, and I see the chat scrolling by. One other thing I should mention is we do have the chat going by. I can just glancing over there, I can see DJ and Equal Wing, and it looks like Uncle Deadly has joined the chat, and Cyber Preppy is there. I'm not going to be able to keep too much of an eye on the chat, but thank you guys for joining. James is going to be in there moderating as usual. So don't worry, players. Don't worry about the chat. We're going to be keeping an eye on that. And James will
I have a lot on my plate already. So
One of those viewers is for sure my mom, so I don't just ignore the chat.
Hi, Mom.
My mom is criticizing me.
Yes, and hello to family members who are viewing. I'm delighted by this. Is as in years past, this has been sort of a family thing. So I'm really happy by the number of friends and family who are chipping in, and to folks who are watching for a D&D game for the first time. A lot of folks have said they've never seen D&D before, so I'm I'm really excited to have those folks here. Don't worry if you don't know anything about D&D, whether you're watching or playing. Basically, all you need to know is that we are going to be telling a story collaboratively. It takes place in our shared imaginations. So we're going to be working together to tell a story. And every so often, there are dice. And there they are. So it's basically
when do we go to hell? I know that I'm supposed to go to hell for playing
We're
this.
already in hell.
Yeah.
That's right. There was like in the 1980s, there was this like terrible scare that D&D was gonna like corrupt America's youth. Tom Hanks was in like a propaganda film about how bad D&D is for everybody. Yeah, it's bonkers. It's called like Wizards and Warlocks or something like that in the movie. It's about how like it causes children to embrace Satan.
And Focus on the Family had like a radio show, and they had like an episode arc about like people being drawn into the occult because they were playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Fantastic.
It seems to turn
That's what I
people
listened to
gay
growing up.
from what I can see.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go. I think I'm gonna participate in something like this. I didn't know all that.
Demons, no, yeah.
And this session end with us killing Tom Hanks as a group.
Oh my god. He's benevolent now. He's changed. And I just want to give a huge thanks. Like, just as soon as we started the stream, like a whole bunch of donations came in. And I'm not able to see the folks' names right here. But, oh my God, thank you guys so much for everybody who's donating. Just absolutely wonderful. Particularly with Anthony. So you were able to ask your followers to name your character.
Yes.
What's the results and what are some of the submissions?
I didn't know what to name this Hobbit wizard thing. So I asked people to donate whatever. I'm not a capitalist, so I didn't make it like highest bid wins. I was just like, donate and we'll pick the best one. And I feel like some were on the line. David Demchuk said he wanted him to be named Dildo Bodkin, which I think is a little much. We had AX from Minnesota, Alectio Bredivore, which is pretty good. Nelson Stouffer wanted him to be Asherat Mackleby, which I think sounds like it might be a Jane Austen character, but I don't know. Bobbert Wickham said Snotor, but I think my favorite is his Twitter handle is really weird. UM7F0G said we should name him Paragrinder Shook, and I really like that. And I think Gay Perry for short. I think so. Paragrinder Shook is my Hobbit's name. Thank you to everybody who donated. But I think that's what we're gonna go with. I love it too much for it not to be that.
Fantastic. I'm so pleased about that. And yeah, huge thanks to everybody who donated and all the great name suggestions. And just two other real quick notes. To viewers, if you are into queer D&D, you might like this other show that we do called Dungeons and Drag Queens, where we get some drag queens up on stage to play D&D for a live audience. You can get info on that at dungeondrag.com, where you can see some of the video of past shows, sign up for a mailing list. And you might also like our friend Josh Trujillo's in a Kickstarter right now for a book called Death Saves, where it's touching stories of gaming disasters. So it's a graphic novel of like adventures that have gone horribly wrong.
I read that first one. It's really great.
Yeah.
I didn't know
So
he was doing the second one.
And there's some really great like queer characters in there too, which is just a delight. So we just need to move the adventure over onto my monitor so I can actually give you guys the adventure, and then we're just about ready to start.
All right. Okay.
All right. So I'm getting my machinery in place here. There we go. All right. Everybody ready?
Yep. As ready as I'm going to be, I guess.
All right. Sunlight filters through a canopy of trees overhead as your small steamboat chugs through the swamp known as the Neverglades. The air is humid, the water murky, and through the dense trees and vines around you, you can hear the strange calls of animals. The boat is just big enough for your party of 4, plus a captain, and keeping one hand on the rudder is the boat's owner, Captain Hepburn. She's human, she's in her 60s, she wears a wide-brimmed hat, a striped blouse, and she has a kerchief around her neck. She's casting a wary gaze at the thick growth of the swamp, and then she turns to the party. And she says, "Well, I don't like the looks of this, but here we are." And she looks to Agrias, and she says to Agrias, "Now then, Angel Face, what's a holy roller like you doing in the muck here with the rest of us mock turtles?"
I say, I was called by my god, and where my god tells me to go, I follow.
Oh.
Well, that's very interesting. Tell me, what god is that?
I follow the god Helm, the Watcher.
And what exactly has called your god to spend time with this group of... She looks around at you. This strange group of weirdos?
They just seem like they really need my help.
Fair enough. I can't argue with that. And then she looks down her nose at Peregrinder, the halfling, and she says, "Now you're far from home, aren't you? What's so important it's roused you from the supper table?"
Somewhere in there, I don't know if we're headed into the jungle or what, but somewhere in there is a treasure hoard that I need to get my eyes on because it'll tell me something about some culture. I don't think I know which culture yet, but I need to check out that treasure hoard, and I'm going in there, even though I hate the humidity.
Now, how did one such as you come to know anything about treasure?
I study at the College of Wizardry. I don't know if I'm done my dissertation or still working on it, but I am an expert on foreign cultures, and I'm checking out what's in this jungle, I guess. Good Lord.
And she turns next to Grady, and she says, Now, what about you? You seem like you're best suited to go it alone. Why on earth would you spend time with a crowd like this?
And Grady has a pet fox as like her ranger companion, so she's stroking the fox in the back. And I'm going to do an accent, guys, just like strap in for that bullshit.
Yeah.
She says, "Well, I don't care much for being around in this city. Much prefer the jungle. I was just hired by these wackadoos to go out and help them find this treasure. I'm going to get paid. I'm going to head back into the woods."
Fair enough. Well, you might not want to head into these woods. And she, glances around, and the Neverglades, the trees here are growing very thick, and there's vines covering everything. She has a bucket of raw meat in the boat with her, and she just grabs, a small scrap of raw meat and tosses it into the underbrush that's, closing in on the swampy water. And it disappears into the bushes, and you hear a loud roar, and there's just, a thrashing in the bushes as something unseen devours the little piece of meat that she threw.
Whoa.
And she turns to Charismo, and she says, "Now then, my lord, you'll forgive me if I don't curtsy. These days I must be rather choosy about exerting my knees, you understand. How is it that your grace has fallen in with this lot?"
And Charismo has 7 scarves on and a cigarette hanging out of his mouth, and a very film noir hat that he's not looking at anyone, and then turns to show his eyes, full makeup, and says, "Didn't you know? I'm funding the expedition." And just stares at them.
As soon as you do that, the boat happens to move through this area where there's a little gap in the tree line, and a shaft of light just falls across Charismo's eyes, illuminating his eyes like Angelica Houston in the Addams Family. So Captain Hepburn looks impressed at this, and she says, "Funding it? Well, I hope you don't get your shoes wet out here in the swamp with the common people."
And Charisma says, "I brought 83 pairs of shoes. I'm always prepared. It's the life of an actor."
I'm sure it is. I wouldn't know anything about it. And she turns back to Carlos. She turns back to your character, to Agrias. And she's like, "Now, we're going to be getting to our destination in just a few moments, but Angel, I hate to ask, but I've had this rash around my décolletage for ages. I'm not one to ask for miracles, but would you mind taking a look?"
Sure. Where did the rash come from?
Out here in the swamp, we run into all sorts, and it either came from one of my colleagues, from one of the other captains, or it might have come from an alligator. And
The rash may have come from an alligator.
She loosens the little kerchief around her neck, and you can see that spreading across her cleavage, there's this sort of red scaly skin there.
Oh, does it hurt? Are you in pain?
It's I wouldn't know a thing about pain. I've been out here in the swamp my whole life, and nothing bothers me. It does turn the gentleman off a bit, though.
I can see why. I want to go investigate the rash and see if I have any idea of where it might come from or what might be causing it.
All right, let's have you do a medicine check. And the way that
Okay.
that's going to work is you roll a d20, and then on your character sheet, you've got some details. And for characters or for players who are new to this, don't worry. I'm going to take care of worrying about the numbers there. But you have on your character sheet statistics for things like medicine. So, Agrees, go ahead and roll for medicine.
I got a 13 total.
Okay, yeah. So you recognize this as just a fairly common infection that people can get by rubbing their bodies up too closely against reptiles.
Very common.
Can we keep this woman, please? She's coming with us, right? Like,
I recognize it and ask no questions and try to put my hands on it and use healing hands to see if I can make it better.
Fantastic. And just for the benefit of the party, describe what healing hands is and what it does.
Healing hands is that when I touch someone, I can heal them for points equal to my level. So because I'm level 3, I can heal her for 3 points. It's a talent that I have. I have soft fingers.
oh.
So I touch it, but like trying to avoid the main part of the rash because I also am very grossed out by it.
And so, you kind of feel a warmth under your fingers, and then when you lift your hands away, her skin is completely cleared up, and it's got like a
Good for
lovely,
you.
healthy glow. And she's like, "Oh, well, that's much better, much better." And she kind of looks down at your hands. She's like, "And what short claws you have!" And now she turns next to. To Paragrinder, and she says, "Oh, now then, Volker's balls, what I wouldn't give for a good cup of coffee out here. Wizard, I don't suppose you could hocus pocus something up for me?"
I think I can. I think I can summon minor conjuration.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you don't need a coffee that's larger than 3 feet, I think I can do this. So, yes, I can. Yeah, I can summon a coffee. Sure, let's do that. That sounds nice, actually. How does this work?
So
now
we'll start with just having you describe the gesture that you do to summon a cup of coffee.
What would you need to? I mean, what kind of coffee do you need? Like, we talking like a cortado? Let's do a nice like cortado. I feel like that's what we're gonna do. Yeah. Can you handle milk? Is she okay with milk after the rash? Is that fine?
Only almond milk.
Okay, almond milk cortado. We can do that. So we're gonna just twist it into being. And there it is. If I roll my dice right?
So minor conjuration for you is that's just something that you can do because it's a fairly minor spell. You don't even need to roll dice for that one.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Whoop.
Yep. And so just to give you guys a little bit of background on how the spells work. For minor spells, which are called cantrips, you could just have like an unlimited supply of those, and you can cast them whenever you want. The more powerful spells, you have spell slots for, and you spend spell slots every time you cast the more impressive spells, level 1 spells and level 2 spells. But the cantrips are, you go wild, go on a spending spree with those.
Maybe I need like a signature move, like I Dream of Genie, like I could wiggle my nose or something.
Yes, you should definitely do that.
Yeah, I feel like, okay, so let's do that.
Perfect.
And there's your almond milk cortado. I don't actually know if that works, but sure.
A little a tray with like little cutouts for coffee mugs appears in the boat there, and for one there's 5. There's one for everyone, and she's like, perfect. Oh, and it's almond, my second favorite. And she takes a long drink of it, and she sets the mug back down, and she's just down the entire mug of coffee in one gulp.
Not good for her heart, man. She's like 6 years old. Like.
And she turns to Grady next, and she says, oh no, actually, so before she does that, she looks over at Charismo, and she says, "Now, the dreary dark out here in the swamp can be wearisome. How about a little song, my lord?"
Oh, sure. And Charismo is changing his shoes as Pepper's timer. Let me just finish lacing up my boots. I'd love to sing a song. Never glade, always glade. Everyone is free. Happy times, better times. I love all trees.
Beautiful. As you're singing, the birds around the boat start chirping along with you. And what we're going to do for that is we're going to roll a performance check for Charismo. Charismo's got some very high stats when it comes to performance and anything involving sleight of hand. And
For you.
Anything that's connected to charisma is the name of the stat that Charismo uses. So we're going to roll a performance check for him. And he gets a 6 plus, it's a +7 for performance. So you rolled a 13. And basically, when you're rolling a d20, in general, the higher the higher the number, the better. And for a lot of rolls, 10 is a bit of a cutoff for whether something succeeded or whether something failed.
But advantage for such
And the judges are suggesting that you get advantage on that for a beautiful song. And not that you'd need it on this roll because it was a strong roll, but the way that advantage works is when you do something particularly skillful, you get to roll twice and use the better result. But if you do something particularly clumsy, or if you're in a situation where you would be at a disadvantage, you roll with disadvantage, and that means you roll twice and use the worst result. In this situation, Charisma, I'm going to give you advantage on that and roll again. And that time you got a 9 plus 7, so a 16. So as you're singing this, not only are the birds like tweeting around you in harmony, but a bunch of them like land, like you just hold out a hand and a bird lands on your finger and is like tweeting along with you. And it's just beautiful.
There's like a single tear coming down my face. So I'm trying to keep my composure and act tough during this moment.
I'm openly weeping, just like crying on the floor.
It was all right. It was all right.
Another cigarette as this is happening.
Give the bird a puff. Quick.
Yeah, definitely.
The bird coughs, and a cloud of smoke in the shape of a musical note comes out of its beak. And then Captain Hepburn turns to you, to Grady, and she says, "Oh, now the Ranger, we're approaching the cursed fog. Ranger, why don't you tell me, do you see any danger up ahead?"
Okay, so Grady's been feeding the raw meat to the fox, to Vidor, the fox.
Mm-hmm.
So she licks her fingers and then looks out the distance. And should I roll something check?
Yeah, roll a perception check.
21.
Okay. That's not bad. So you are able to discern a large, dark underwater shadow heading straight for the boat.
Yes.
Oh, shit. I say, steady, folk, brace yourselves.
And everyone in the boat kind of like grips the side of the boat, just as an enormous albino alligator charges towards the boat, ramming it. And everyone but the captain loses their footing as the vessel rocks from side to side. So we're going to do a dexterity saving throw here, which is where everybody uses their abilities to save themselves from a situation. So the way that works is you're going to roll a d20, and Anthony and Bryan Safi, I'm going to be rolling for you guys since you don't have an enormous collection of bizarre dice. This is literally, I have like much dice prepared. So we're going to roll a dexterity saving throw for everybody, and just let me know what you get. Let's see. We're going to do, you'll be happy to hear that, Anthony, you rolled a natural 20.
Hey,
Wow.
look at that. Very dexterous.
Yeah, and Charisma rolled a 15.
Yeah.
We're fine? Yes, that's good.
How's Grady doing?
So Grady rolled a natural 20, but then I have to roll for Vidor's like his own thing, and he rolled a 7.
Okay. I'm going to say with that natural 20, you are able to grab a hold of your fox and keep your fox steady.
Oof.
And finally, Agrias, how are you doing?
I was still thinking about the song and rolled a 6.
Okay. So everyone is able to hold pretty steadily onto the side of the boat, except for Agrias, who tumbles into the water.
Oh no! Oh no!
I pulled a rope out of my bag.
Okay.
and I knot it to the side of the boat and then throw it over to Agrias.
Fantastic. And Agrias, the rope just lands right next to you. Fortunately, this albino alligator is on the other side of the boat, so it doesn't quite see you there yet. And Grady, do you want to like reel him in?
Yeah, I'm not very strong, but I'll try. Or can I? Let me call. What are the names? Gay Paris or I said Gay Paree. Come over and help me reel this guy in.
Hang on, I have a mage hand. I can grab things 30 feet from me. Can I like put the rope in the guy's hand? Is that something I can do?
Yeah, so the way that Mage Hand works is it's basically like just another hand that you can use to like grab stuff and pull on it.
So it's only as strong as me?
It's let me just double check that with the judges. Mage Hand is as strong as the person wielding it, right?
Well, it can lift to a 10 or 30 pounds.
Oh, okay. Well, so it can lift 10 or 30 pounds. So
Not
it's
gonna
not the
do it.
strongest. But what everybody, of course, is able to do is you can all pull together.
Can I domesticate the alligator? I have a find familiar power.
Ooh. So the way that Find Familiar works is basically you summon a spirit in the form of an animal. And so basically that conjures up an additional animal that wasn't there before. But
I'm like fully drowning while everyone's debating what they should do. I'm like,
all right, let's just pull him in. Let's just pull him in.
We're all
I feel like I'm
big book.
I'm gonna sing while you guys pull.
Yeah.
I will point out that Charisma, amongst your spells, you have some basic cantrips like Prestidigitation, which allows you to create like a small illusion. You've got Vicious Mockery, which allows you to insult an enemy and cause it to lose confidence. And as one of your level 1 spells that does use up a spell slot, you have something called Animal Friendship, which makes animals more likely to be friendly to you.
Okay, so can I use that animal friendship, and then Agrias will, the alligator will swim underneath Agrias, and Agrias will ride him back onto the ship.
Ooh, I love that. So
That
let's
sounds good.
check how animal friendship works because let's see, where have I got that here? So basically, so the way the spell works is you convince a beast that it means you no harm. It has to be a beast you can see within range.
So maybe I become friends with the beast, but Agrias is still not.
Your pet kills me.
Yes. Yeah. So basically, you can tame the beast. You can't like give it commands, but
This
I'm
is
gonna try-
his response to somebody
Can I
drowning.
try to
Is
climb
like,
in the
what
boat?
can you do not to say, like not to physically pull him off the boat?
We have debated
use
every
the
solution.
I'm just gonna climb in. I'm just gonna try to use the rope to climb in.
It's true. When the suggestion was, "Why don't you get a rope and everyone pull it?" We just stared.
You mean like play music? Is that what you want?
So I'm gonna say, that Agrias, you've kind of clambered over to the side of the boat. Meanwhile, everyone's just kind of like staring at the alligator, deciding what to do.
I want it as a pet. Let's bring it with us, please.
Yeah, can I tame it?
Absolutely, yeah. You convince it that you mean it no harm, and it's just in a good mood and happy to see you.
So I look at the alligator and I say, I one time played an albino alligator. It was my first job. And I got into character very, very well, and I understood the swamp, and I understood what you were after, meat. So I get it, and so that's how I know.
Am I in the boat yet?
We do know that the alligators carry diseases that the captain has, so nobody like
All
touches it.
No rubbing up against it.
Yeah.
The alligator, as you're saying this, as you're describing your character work to the alligator is just kind of like, it's kind of like half out of the water and it's nodding.
The process.
Yeah.
And Captain Hepburn's watching this impressed, and she like sidles over to you and she goes, "You smooth talker." Heading back to the little steam engine, you hear her mutter, "I bet you say that to all the boys."
Just to clarify, am I still in the water? Or did I make it into the boat? Am I good?
Clambered up onto the boat at this point. It's not like it's not like
I
a
brush
tall...
myself off and say I meant to do that, and then feel very embarrassed for the remainder of the boat ride.
So the boat continues cutting a path through the Neverglades. It's humid. There's like swarms of insects around you. You can see snakes kind of like winding their way around the tree trunks. And the alligator now is your friend, and it's just gently swimming through the swampy water next to the boat. And eventually, Captain Hepburn pulls the boat up alongside a muddy embankment, and the party disembarks onto the shore. And she says, "All right, you've distinguished yourself. I've seen far more adventurers than I care to name disappear into those waters. Do be careful off in the jungle there. You may need a little help on your way." And she hands out a basket with some supplies in it. Who would like to take that basket?
I can take it.
Okay, that was Agrias?
Yeah.
Okay, so Agrias, you take the basket, and inside you find there are 2 potions of healing. There's an insect repellent, and there's a copy of Captain Hepburn's autobiography, Me, Stories of My Life.
Aw. Nice.
I give 1 potion to Paragrinder and 1 to Charisma and say, you'll be needing these almost certainly.
So, you can just remember that you have those, and if you want, you can note on your inventory, on your character sheet, that you have a potion of healing. And basically what that does is, if something unfortunate happens to you in combat and you are injured, you can use the potion of healing to restore yourself a certain amount. You'll roll for that.
Okay. It's like doing your taxes. I like this. Where's my inventory?
So it's going to be in the lower left.
Yeah.
Lower in the middle. So equipment. And that was going to...
I have a bag of sand.
Oh yeah, you sure do. You've got and Charisma. You've got a disguise kit and a lyre, and you've got some fine clothes. It must be those.
I don't see that stuff. My character sheet ends at flaws.
Oh yeah. So what we sent you is sort of a simplified version that has. It's just kind of a description. It's like a biographical thing.
I see.
The character sheet is the one that's like. It really does look like your taxes. It does look like a tax form with like numbers everywhere.
Okay, I'm sorry. I will pull that up.
Can I take this opportunity to read this mysterious letter that's in my inventory?
Sorry, could you say that one more time?
I have a letter from a dead colleague posing me a question I have not been able to answer.
Oh, yes, that's right.
I would love to know what it was. I suspect
that is
why I'm here.
That is an area where, if it's not specified, as a player, you have discretion to create that backstory.
Oh, that's my gig. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Can one of the judges send that sheet to me? Because I think it didn't attach.
Oh, okay. James, would you mind re-emailing that the character sheet to Bryan Safi?
Sorry about that.
No, it's no problem. It's my fault. James, did you get that? I think he'll be doing that in just a moment. Sometimes he disappears, but he's all around us. He's the Holy Ghost. Okay. So we're going to be sending that on to you. And don't worry about it too much, because I've got it. And when it comes to number stuff, I'm going to be handling the dice rolls and stuff for you.
Got it.
So you are now standing on this muddy embankment, and Captain Hepburn turns the boat around, and she starts to motor off back the way that she came. And she's like, "Good luck to all of you. It's not that I think any misfortune will befall you out there, though I do. It's just that your taste for adventure exceeds my own. Should you make it back to shore, signal for me, though more likely there'll be pork in the treetops come morning." And you see the boat fade away into the gray mist.
That's a deep reference.
So now you're standing there, and the vegetation is thick around you, as are insects and the smell of decay. Behind you is the murky water of the Neverglades, with the albino alligator just kind of contentedly hanging out there. And ahead of you is a path leading into the thick fog, through which you can make out shapes of vine-covered trees. You can hear frogs and wild birds and bubbling water. And what we're going to start with here is having you guys establish your marching order. And that's the order that you're going to walk through the swamp in. So what order do you want to adopt here?
I think Grady would go first and have Vidor running ahead.
Okay.
I feel like my character would want to be as far up front as he can manage. I also have, is it dark? I have lights that I can turn on.
Yeah, so as a cantrip, you have light, which allows you to illuminate any object.
Is that a stupid thing to do? Probably, but I'm going to do it. Can we make them citronella flavored so the mosquitoes don't bother us?
Absolutely.
Let's do that.
Yes. So I'm going to say, what is it? What is the object that you want to illuminate?
It says I create 4 torch-sized lights
right.
to hover in the air.
Yeah, so I was thinking of a different one. So there's light, which allows you to illuminate an object, but you've got the one with the orbs, so you can have just 4 orbs kind of hovering around you.
Sounds perfect.
And for the
travel with my own lighting.
But, yeah, perfectly shining on you. And for the citronella effect, let's have you do a nature check. And let's check your stats on that. So for nature,
I have a +3 for nature.
You got a +3. So you rolled a 13. So yeah, it's a nice fragrant citronella, and the insects kind of like they buzz away from you. So right now in the marching order, we've got Grady and Paragrinder, and between charisma.
I'll follow behind Grinder.
Okay.
Because that's where the light is.
Perfect. Yes, you're following along. You've perfectly found your, like, as soon as those lights appear, you perfectly find your light.
Fall into place.
And Agrias, that has you at the back of the pack.
Okay.
Great. And so, Bryan, we did just email the full sheet to you, so you should have that in your email now.
Yes. It's blank. Is that right?
Oh, that is not correct. No.
Okay.
It's all part of the game.
This is a fun thing that for some reason sometimes happens with PDFs. So
that's fine. Listen, I'll just take it from you if that's easiest.
Sure. We'll go that way.
Okay.
I think if you really want to get to it, if for some reason, I think if you download it and open it in preview instead of opening it in your email, it should work. This is an issue we've run into in the past. But
okay.
Don't worry about it if it's not an issue for you not to have it. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
So, in that order, with Grady taking the lead with Vidor the Fox, you're followed by Paragrinder, and Charisma right behind Paragrinder, like perfectly like following in that light. And Agria is taking the rear. You move into the fog, and you are moving through this the dense fog, and you can hear the animals around you, and you can feel the wetness of the swamp squishing underfoot. And tell me, what are you going to do? Like as you're walking into the jungle, what is your technique? What are you going to do to try to find your way to this temple that Paragrinder has found evidence of?
Do I know anything about this temple? I don't. Do I? I don't want to step on any toes here.
Yeah, so we have you can open your research, and looking through your research, you've got some lore there, and that is a document that I do not have immediately in front of me, but I think James can probably put that into a notepad document for me.
I don't know where you put it.
It's in the text document on the iMac.
Okay, well, I mean, he knows that it is the temple. Paragrinder knows that it is a temple.
I'm opening my book that I have.
It was once inhabited by an ancient cult that amassed a fortune from its followers, but nobody has seen them in centuries. And the cult is dedicated to a being from another plane known as Calgon.
Calgon. All right.
I'm pretending to keep watch, but I keep getting distracted by Charisma scarves, and it's like I can't really focus. But I'm trying to keep a straight face.
So hard.
I've never seen such nice fabric, and I keep trying to pretend that I don't care about it, but I'm just completely entranced by the embroidery of it.
I'm hoping I meet someone from the cult because there's nothing I understand or relate to better than wealth and family. And so I'm hoping that I can speak to them because we speak. It's funny, even if you're from different places, money does talk, and it's a universal language.
Money and
Are you
love,
saying
the two
this out
universal languages.
Why is everyone else on this trip? I know I'm checking out this like cult stuff. I'm just like into like some anthropological research. Oh, so you're
just
like,
bored, right? You're just like a bored rich dude.
Bored, rich, and I funded it.
awesome. Okay, so we're just sightseeing for you. All right, okay.
Yeah.
So
I think
we should be fine, really. What could go wrong? All right, well, I have this for search, so I'm going to say that I have, can I just like have a map to where we're going in my book?
You can have some general information in there. Yeah, so flipping through, the maps are faded and worn, but the information that you have is that this temple lies somewhere at the heart of the Neverglades. And you're as close as anyone has ever come to that area, but now this dense fog is starting to close in around you.
Is there still a clear path that we're on?
Let's have you roll a investigation check for that.
19.
Fantastic. Yeah, so you can tell that there's a bit of a trampled path through the underbrush here. Some of the trees alongside it are a little bit younger than the other trees around you, and there does seem to be a clear way forward into the fog.
Yeah. I let Vidor run ahead and gesture them behind me.
Okay, so the party is continuing through that fog, and it's getting thicker now, and it prevents you from seeing more than just a silhouette of trees in the distance. It has a smell of anise. It's freckled with these sparkling purple motes that are drifting past you. And according to legend, the temple that you seek is lying deep at the heart there, somewhere ahead. As you're journeying further in, the fog grows thicker and thicker, and you find that it's becoming harder to concentrate. The path seems to shimmer and vanish, and the terrain here is unfamiliar. You find your minds getting clouded by the strange smells and the sounds of the swamp, and you all feel very confused. Describe to me what you're going to do to get your bearings, and we're going to start with Grady since you're in the lead.
I am... I have a water skin full of water as part of my pack, and I'm going to take it out and splash some on my face.
Okay, let me have you roll. I'm going to do a medicine check on that.
Not natural, but... Oh, no, 21, but not natural.
Okay, and let's go next to Paragrinder. How are you going to try to clear your mind?
How am I going to try to clear my mind? Man, what have I got? My backpack, my clothes, ordnance, ink pen.
Got that bag of sand.
I got that bag of sand, yeah. I could cast a lightning orb, maybe that will illuminate where we're headed. What if I cast that straight up and just, like, saw if it made clear where this temple is?
That is great. I love that. Let's see.
All right, let's do that.
I'm going to have you roll for that. I wonder if that should be survival or if that should be... It wouldn't be Arcana. And that's another cantrip for you, right? Is that Dancing Lights?
It says it's a spell, actually. Oh, well, I already have my dancing lights.
Yeah,
they're
so,
on, right?
You know, you've already got that light source. Is there something you want to do with those lights?
Let's send them like rushing down the path to see what it illuminates further down the line.
Okay,
let's do that.
Great, I like that. So while you're doing that, Charisma, what are you doing to try to clear your mind?
I do a backflip into a headstand, and I just stay in that headstand. Oh, but before that, I take off my hat, which is, the fedora I'm wearing, and there's actually a pair of slippers in there. So I take the slippers off my head, put them on my feet, and do the backflip into the handstand and just breathe.
Amazing. So we're going to do a acrobatics check on that. And that rolls a 19, so it's very impressive. And Andreas, tell me what you're going to do to clear your mind.
Still overwhelmed by the beauty of the embroidery, I'm going to try to mimic what Charisma just did with a much lower acrobatics roll.
So,
in full armor.
Your acrobatics is a +0, so let's have you roll a check on that.
4?
Okay, great. So here's what happens. Grady, you, like, as you're splashing this water on your face, your mind clears just in time to see these orbs of light, like, shoot past you down into the fog, illuminating the pathway and shining a light down onto where the underbrush has been trampled. And then they rush back to the party just in time to spin around Charismo, who's in this perfect, magnificent handstand. And the entire party hears a thud, and that is Agrias just kind of like crumpled upside down with your legs over your face. Just like completely like your face is like down in the mud of the swamp there.
And I say, remember, I was sent here to protect you.
So you find that your minds are fairly clear, and so you continue walking down this path, helping Agrias to his feet again, to her feet. I'm sorry. You move off down the path. And as you're walking, you feel as though you're being watched. And sure enough, you note that there are pairs of eyes staring at you from the trees and from bushes and from vines. And you are surrounded by cats. And there's one particularly large cat eyeing you suspiciously from a tree stump.
I would like to subtly draw one of my swords out just to have on my side.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I'm just going to conjure a bowl of milk.
Wonderful. So describe to me the gesture that you do.
I give my nose a wiggle.
Right.
And then and there's the bowl of milk. And it's 3 feet long. That seems to be my maximum. And weighs 10 pounds. 10-pound saucer of milk that I place in the mud in front of these cats.
And so instantly, the cats all rush towards this saucer of milk, and it's just surrounded by a giant ring of cats, all lapping furiously at it. And then the large cat on the stump is just watching you impassively as this happens. And the cats suddenly clear away. The milk has all been consumed. And that large cat on the stump disappears down into the underbrush, pushing aside some bushes. And you see behind those bushes, there is a skeleton slumped over against the rock. And it's covered in moss and vines and has scraps of adventuring gear and a leather backpack.
I'll approach and see if there's anything in the backpack that we can use.
Okay, so let's have you roll a investigate. Well, I don't think that's going to need an investigation check to check the backpack. So you start going through that backpack. You find, like, as soon as you open it, like, just a giant swarm of insects burst out into your face and
Oh, my citronella candles, like, rush him, keep him safe from the mosquitoes.
Great, just very narrowly you're able to, like, deflect this cloud, like, zooms towards your face and then, like, off to the side, like, hard right.
Excellent.
And so inside the backpack, you find a scroll case that contains some brittle parchment with notes in Elvish. So it refers to, at the top it says Temple of Calgon. The ink is smudged here, but it says, you can make out the words, New Initiates, smudge, 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 Hidden Path, smudge, 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 Vault. And then down at the bottom, written in runes, is the message, Seekers, call out to me and I will grant you succor.
I tell everyone in the group that, and then try to give it to someone who knows how to read this stuff better than I do. Or I give it to a paragrinder and say, does any of this look familiar or helpful to you?
Well, I can read anything that I'm touching. So if there's more here, I can't make out these smudges. Can I, like, try to figure out more about these smudges or no?
No, it's completely illegible.
All right. And we're asked to call out to me and I will give you succor?
Yep.
Call out to me, and it says Calgon at the top.
It does.
Well, hell, let's give Calgon a ring. Let's. Hey, I call out. Hey, Calgon, could use some succor over here.
Nothing
into the darkness.
There's just a chattering of birds from far in the distance, and no other. There's no other reaction to this, but flipping the scroll around, there is, you can see there's some more runes back there that describes new initiates being brought to a vault. There seems to be some sort of diagram that shows people entering a vault.
How do you guys feel about, I know that Charisma's in, how do the rest of you feel about joining this cult? Because I'm down.
They got wealth?
Yeah, let's go check out this vault. Sure, let's do it, right?
So the path does continue off into the underbrush. Do you want to, like, continue on your way.
Are the cats all gone?
The cats are gone. Every now and then you can see like the eyes peering at you from like a tree branch or some shadowy rock.
Anything else on the skeleton? Can I give the lights a whirl through his skull and whatever? Check out what's left. You got any like cool jewelry or anything we can steal? He's got a robe. We could like sneak in.
Can I take the head of the skull just if I want to perform Hamlet later?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
So you grab that skull. You can see that there are tooth and claw marks on all of the bones, and there's also a rusted telescope, kind of off by his side, that has a cracked lens.
I'll take that.
Great. So just mark that off on your inventory there. And Charismo's carrying a skull, which, I mean, of course, I naturally have a skull handy.
I have it has a cracked lens?
Yeah, the telescope does have a cracked lens.
All right, I'm going to replace its lens. I'm going to summon a new lens. Give my nose a wiggle, and then I have a new lens, and I use my telescope crafting skills from way back when, and I pop it in, and I've got a working telescope. Does that work?
Let's see. I'm going to have you roll for that because I love that, like, you do create that new lens. That is brilliant, and I love it. So, Paragrounder, I'm going to have you roll it. I'm just looking at your proficiencies here. I
don't see my telescope stuff here, but I have been reading a lot of, what's his name? I forget. Philosopher with the telescope.
Ayn Rand.
Ayn Rand, sure. Did she have a telescope?
Noted wilderness survivalist Ayn Rand. So to repair that telescope, to pop a new lens in, I think that would be probably either a survival check.
I have a nature. Got sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand.
I'm gonna say we're gonna say survival on that one.
Okay. Come on, I have no survival skills.
The lens is already conjured, yeah.
Anyone who has a good
skill. Oh, that's true. I mean,
who could like pop this in for me? Because
I can do it. I can do it. I'll be the butch lesbian of the group and try to pop this thing. We're doing Home Depot work right now.
Wonderful. So let me have you do a survival check there, and I'm going to give you advantage on that because I love that you've like stepped up to help out here.
Okay. 22.
That'll do it. Yeah, you pop it in there, and it's all fresh and perfectly. It's perfect working order now.
Who's the most perceptive of us?
Grady.
Me. Yeah.
Oh, then he should, or she, you or she, right?
Yeah.
She should take a look and see if she can spot any vaults around.
Yeah. Are there any like trees I could climb and take a look around?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so let's have you. I'm going to start by having you so you shimmy up a tree, and let's have you do a. I'm going to do, let's say, a perception check, peering through that telescope. Roll a d20 on that.
14.
Okay, and so up in the tree, like in the far distance, you can see that there is just the top of a pyramid. In the direction that this path is heading, there's the top of a pyramid poking up above the fog. There's a large stone eye on the top of the pyramid that the fog seems to be spilling out of. And it's flecked with those purple motes, and it's all kind of like rushing down through this jungle past the position that you guys are at. It's probably about an hour's walk in the direction of that path.
Okay. I draw a very detailed sketch of this temple.
I call down the description.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
Great. Everything's logged. And so now you ready to continue down the path?
I don't love these purple motes. Can we do something about that? Can I conjure us some gas masks or something? I don't love that. I don't want to be breathing that shit. That doesn't sound healthy.
I would just use Charismo's scarves as gas masks.
Okay,
that's true. I'll give you. Yeah. They're already scented too, so they smell really good. You want to put them for your nose. Exactly, they're calming.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. And so like the party like wraps these scarves around you, and the sort of disorienting effect of the fog fades away. That anise smell is indistinguishable now from undetectable with these scented scarves around your faces.
Perfect.
and you're continuing down the path, and every so often you see like the cats kind of like working their way through the underbrush, and suddenly you turn a bend, and that large cat is there for just a moment, surrounded by some smaller cats, and it disappears into the underbrush again. Those smaller cats climb up onto some nearby rocks and push some rocks down into the path in front of you, and they sink down into the ground, revealing that there's quicksand in the center of the path in front of you.
Oh.
How wide is the quicksand? Does it look like?
Yeah.
The path itself is about 2 feet wide, and the quicksand it takes up about 1 foot on the right-hand side of the path.
How much do I weigh?
As a halfling, that is a stat that does exist, but I don't have it handy. I'm going to say that you weigh. Judges are considering.
Halfling's light.
Light. It is the technical. Literally in D&D, the technical term is light.
I pick
Alright.
up hair grinder.
I can summon what seems to be some kind of magic floating wheelbarrow situation.
Mm-hmm.
But it can only hold up to 500 pounds. But I guess we could do that. Oh, we actually have a fox, don't we? We can do the fox and the lion thing where we can just ride across it in sheets. So can I roll to do that? My tensor's floating disc?
Yeah, I love that. And so so normally that would burn a spell slot for you, but here's what I'm going to say. Because I like that solution so much, I'm going to give you a point of inspiration. Here's how inspiration works. We're doing sort of a homebrew version of this. Normally on D&D it's a little different, but the way that we are going to do it is inspiration points are points that you can collect like little tokens. You can have an unlimited number of them. And as you bank them up, you can either use them to give yourself advantage on any D20 roll, or you can use it to counteract disadvantage. You can also spend one of them magic users, you can spend 2 of them to recover a burned spell slot.
Okay.
So you can recover your spell slots there. So this is going to use up 1 spell slot for Paragrinder, but you're also getting a point of inspiration there. So with 1 more of those, you can recover 1 of those. And you get a point of inspiration every time you do something particularly inspired.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then let's do that, and I'll ferry everyone across in whatever combinations do not exceed my 500-pound weight limit.
I think it can all fit.
Yeah? Okay. All right. Let's do that.
Yeah, perfect. So that spinning disc sort of materializes there on the ground. Everyone climbs aboard, and it's rotating fast, but you're able to, just like as you spin, move across the quicksand, and then it kind of dumps you on the other side. Well done. I like that. I like that solution a lot. And so now the path continues, and you're probably getting close to that. To the temple. Continuing down through the path. Let me see.
Are there any signs of like footprints or whatever on the path as we walk?
No, the only like trampling here, there doesn't seem to be anything human. And let me have you roll a nature check, Grady, to see what you can figure out about the underbrush
6.
Here. What's that?
6. I see there's a path.
Yeah. So with the 6, you can tell that this path has definitely been trampled, but you can't tell by what or when. Turning one more corner, you see a rickety bridge of rope spanning 2 sides of a gorge. The gorge is about 10 feet deep, and the bridge is coated with a slick, slimy mold, and the walls of the gorge are covered in vines. There's water rushing past below, and there's a tangle of vines on the growth around you.
Can I grab one of the vines, like trapeze style, and just bring everyone over one at a time with my hands while my legs are in the air?
Oh, absolutely.
Like just circus style.
Be careful, I'm very light.
So 100% inspiration point to Charisma for that. And yeah, you yank those vines down, and let me have you roll a acrobatics check on that. So it's going to be a 1d20 plus 6 for you.
Can it be? Can everyone's be? Can I get everyone over in one fell swoop except Agrias, which takes an hour? Because he's so afraid, or she's so afraid.
Yes. So, Agrias, describe to me how you are reacting to the what Charisma is proposing.
I said I'm really insecure about my weight, so I keep being like, I don't think it's a good idea. How strong are your hands? I keep trying to like dump things out of my bag. Like these potions are really heavy. It just takes a lot of coaxing to get me over there.
Charisma, are you gonna do anything to encourage Agrias?
Probably I'll sing one of my hits, like "Don't be afraid of the vines. They only exist in your mind, but also they're here in real life. So don't be afraid of the vines."
It sounds just like the song my mom used to sing me to go to bed. So I'm immediately sobbing and inspired by this performance. I love that song.
So, sobbing, you are swinging back and forth and just weeping openly, just swinging back and forth over this gorge, and you land in a heap, just like wiping your face and your nose and sniffling, and now the party is made to the other side of this slippery rope bridge, and looks like you're getting close. The fog is very thick here, but you've got those masks around your face, so you're not breathing it in anymore. And you're able to keep your wits about you. And the party moves forward down the path and stumbles out of the tree line into a clearing. Ahead of you, there's a pathway made of wooden planks leading across a pool of mucky water towards a towering stone temple. The temple is roughly a pyramid in shape. The purple flecked fog is spilling out from an eye at the top, and the area around the temple itself is free of fog as though it's in a bubble. There are wooden planks across the mucky water here leading to a stone landing at the front of the temple. There's a stairway leading up and what appears to be a large stone door that is overgrown with vegetation.
Should we tie a rope to each other to get across this bridge in case one of us falls in?
Do we have a rope? We still have a rope?
I have a rope. How far is the bridge? You said, sorry.
So it's about 30 feet long.
Okay. Yeah, let's do a rope chain.
Okay. So let's see. I'm going to say for that'll probably be a survival check for Grady.
15.
Okay, so definitely not those ropes around everybody's waist, and you're like chained together, and like as soon as one of you moves, it like jerks the whole party forward. And what would you like to do?
I'm suspended in the air between my waist leg.
Yeah, your legs are just like dangling down. Like the tops of your toes are just like barely scraping the.
Yes, and I'm kicking frantically. Yeah.
So I'm gonna say you guys are still in that marching order. So it's Grady, Peregrine, Charismo, and Agrias. What would you like to do? How would you like to approach the temple?
Well, this sounds like that vault thing again. What does the vault text say again? This thing.
So the vault text, let me just grab that. It says that new initiates, it shows new initiates being shown into the vault. You can see some ink smudge there, but it says hidden path. And again, it has that legend there. Seekers, call out to me and I'll grant you succor.
All right.
Can anyone speak Elvish in this group?
I can.
Maybe we should say we should call out to him in Elvish since the text was in Elvish.
Sure. Let's do that. Okay. Well, it sounds like it's not going to work, but can we like inspect the door? Is there anything on the door? Does it say anything? Is it the door that's in the picture? Or is that a different door? So
it does not match the vault door that is in the drawing, but it's just a huge, heavy thing covered with vines. So who wants to go up and inspect it?
I'll do that. I can do that. Sure. I approach the door and I'm looking for like language or anything like that might tell us what the hell is going on here.
Okay, so everybody's still kind of like tied together, and you're proceeding up that pathway.
And my citronella lights come on, so I can check it out.
Great. And so you're heading up towards that door, and I'm getting a message from the judges.
We're like a walking Bed Bath and Beyond right now. We're just like different scarves and candles.
Are we still tied together? Am
Just
I?
hit the goal.
Yes. And so I've just been told that we've just hit the fundraising goal for our
Okay.
live stream.
Wow.
For the whole
Yes.
thing.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
Thanks, guys.
Well,
So, thank you. James just set off like an explosion of confetti over me. But oh my gosh, huge thanks to everybody for
Thank you, everybody.
who's donating.
I hope that
I
I'm
saw
not
Bryan look for
about
that for
that.
like 30 seconds.
This is fantastic.
So
So this has
exciting.
happened in past years. So our fundraising goal for this year was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It was $2,345.67. I don't know. We'll confer with our finance people, which is James, and see if we want to set a new goal for the live stream. But Holy Toledo, thank you so much to everybody who donated. Thanks to the party for bringing everybody together to raise money for the kids. And if you haven't donated yet, the link to do that is bit.ly/extralifeseattle.
I summon a ukulele and bid Charisma to join me in a celebratory song as I strum.
happy to.
I want to try and fail to harmonize with whatever Charisma is singing, so it's just flat the entire time.
I'm gonna sing "Simply the Best."
As I talk. Yeah, okay.
Simply the best, better than all the rest, better than anyone I bet. And I get so mad at Agrias that he's off to that I refuse to sing another note.
Great. And
Yeah, you're right. Paragrinder was off. He was off tempo. He's really amateur. Can't work like this.
Agrias, I'm going to have you roll a performance check with
Oh
disadvantage.
no! I don't want to do this. All right, with disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. With disadvantage, 16. All the rest.
So it is very atonal, but in sort of like a hymnal sort of way, and it's sort of religious and inspiring in that it speaks to the divine.
I'm the King Roland of this group. All right.
So meanwhile, Paragrinder has been moving towards his door to inspect it. But before
I would like to stress that I'm still tied to this thing, so if I get grabbed by something, you're all coming with me.
before you can get to that door covered in vegetation, the vegetation shudders and pulls itself away from the wall and starts shambling towards the party. It is a walking humanoid, writhing assembly of vines and leaves and rocks, and it's moaning gently, and it's moving towards everybody. And what we're going to do now is roll initiative, which means that you are in combat. So basically the way that this works is you roll a d20 and add your initiative modifier. I'm going to take care of that for Paragrinder. I'm going to take care of that for Charisma and Paragrinder. And so you guys are rolling. So Paragrinder rolled a 9 plus 2, so you're at 11. And for Charisma, you did very well there. It's a 16 plus 3, so you got a 19.
Simply the best.
Yeah.
Simply the best.
All right, and so we've got the mound. So so the shambling mound that's in front of you has kind of caught you by surprise. So Grady, how did you do?
Grady got 11, and then Vidor got 5.
Okay. So we're gonna do there, and how's Agrias looking?
I got a 4.
4 for Agrias. So this shambling mound has caught you somewhat by surprise, and Agrias, you're standing right in front of it. let's see. I'm just pulling him up here. So its tentacles of vines are like oozing over this pathway towards you, and it towers up over you. The whole party is standing behind Agrias, but Agrias, you're in the lead here, and so this mound of rotting vegetation brings its fists down on you, and it rolls a 8. So the way that we figure out how an attack goes is the attacker does an attack roll, and they may have some modifier that they add to it, and that is compared to your armor. Agrias, Paragrinder, your armor is a 12. This thing is rolled an 8, so it slams into you.
I thought it was hitting me, wasn't it?
Oh no, sorry. No, it's going for Agrias, because Agrias was the one who was inspecting the door.
I was
No,
inspecting.
Peregrine, I was expecting the door.
Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. I have misunderstood your order there. Yeah, so Paragrinder, you were the one inspecting the door. So it is bringing its fists down on you, and it rolls an 8. And so you're able to like just you stand in place, and it doesn't hurt you. And it swings like this fist, this arm of with a fist of vines, just like spins around the monster and slams into you one more time.
I'm frantically speaking Entish at it to try to get it to chill out. Does that work?
It has an extremely low intelligence and does not speak anything. So it is unresponsive.
I'm doing a mirror exercise, mirroring every movement that the monster makes, hoping that he A, for a new piece I'm developing, but B, so that maybe he has some recognition now.
We are going to address that when we get to your turn in the attack order, because I love that. For now, I'm going to give you a point of inspiration for that, for you just mimicking this giant shambling mound of rotting swamp moss.
Did he just insult it?
No. But you know what?
Cutting words can be...
Should I do that? Should I mock it?
So you do have this thing called cutting words that you can use as a reaction. Basically, let me just call that up here. Charisma's cutting words. So with cutting words, that's not a yeah, that's a feature, not a spell. So basically, with cutting words, you can make fun of something, and that gives it disadvantage.
Okay.
Minus 1d6.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, so it actually attacks the thing.
No.
It does. It gives it a minus 1d6 on
its roll.
To its roll. You're right. Okay. Sorry. So let's have you find some cutting words or some insulting thing that you do to this mound before it does its second attack on Paragrinder.
Okay. So if I say something like, I've played to an audience of 3 people before. I'm afraid of nothing. What are you like? Oh, I got a better reaction from Elizabeth Taylor when I did it with foxes. Picking for cutting than that, right?
So I love that so much, and so this thing, when it was attacking Paragrinder, rolled just over Paragrinder's armor, so it was going to hit. But we're going to roll a d6 now to subtract that. And it rolls a 6.
Nice.
So this thing is clearly like shaken by this, and it's like it kind of got like the impression of a face in like some rocks and moss up top, and
I feel so bad for it.
Looks a little dismayed that you have referred to Elizabeth Taylor, the famous Neverwinter Taylor to the stars.
There you go.
And then it roars again, and furious that it's missed on both of its attacks. And now we're on to Charisma. You are next in the attack order. And so the way that this works is you can use one of your weapons. You've got a dagger or a rapier. So those are your physical weapons. You also, as a bard, have something called Vicious Mockery, where you can continue to make fun of something, and it will do a 1d4 of psychic damage to this thing.
Oh, I mean, Vicious Mockery.
Yeah, so this thing has just missed hitting Paragrinder. It's completely failed to do any damage. What do you want to give it? What mockery do you want to give it?
Probably just make fun of its body and just how, I don't know, how just shapeless, looks like an avocado. And you know how with enough there's not enough mask work or movement in the world that could help those cankles.
Oh, I feel really bad for this thing.
No, he's an asshole.
He's trying to kill you.
So I'm going to roll 1d4 on that, and you rolled a 3. So just the sheer cruelty of this insult is causing some of the leaves growing on it to just wither and fall.
By the way, the cruelty of that insult just made someone donate. Did anyone hear that? Someone was finally like, okay, I'm in.
Did you say cankles? Take my debit card.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, that's the trigger phrase. Cankles will always get a donation. That's the slogan for the party. Cankles always gets a donation. Great. So that was a very effective attack. Now, on an attack, you also get some. You can take an action, which is on your turn, you can take an action like an attack. You also have the ability to move if you want to move. But just to remind you, you are all still tied together, so the move will kind of yank everyone around.
What is happening to me right now? Am I just like being crushed by this thing? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, it's kind of like it's just standing over you. It hasn't quite noticed you yet.
Okay.
So so it's just like you're kind of like smushed up against it, and you can feel the slithering of the decaying swamp mulch within this thing's body.
Okay.
And it is next in the attack. It is Grady.
Okay, so Grady's real pissed that she got caught off guard because she's the ranger, and so she pulls out her ponytail and shakes her hair out. She does some hand signals with the fox, so he's going to go do his own thing. Mm-hmm. And she's going to cast Hunter's Mark on the Shambling mound, which is a bonus action. And so that means that it's like my quarry now, and so when I attack it, I'll do more damage than usual.
Great.
And that's it. And then, can I, with us being all tied together, can I get up to it? Can I still get up to the Shambling mound?
Oh, yeah, you can get up to it. It's
and I guess I'm on the end, too, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to run up, and my one short sword that's out, I'm going to slice at those vines.
Okay, that's 1d20 plus 5?
22.
And that is a hit. 1d6 plus 3 for damage.
And I'll do 2d6 because I have the Hunter's Mark.
Hunter's Mark, right.
9 damage.
Grady is a badass. It's amazing.
Yeah, so you slice at this thing with your short sword, and you knock a significant amount of its like just decaying matter away, and you can see just like there's this exposed bone structure of rock and stone inside. And just like falls and splashes down into the swamp, and the Shambling mound just roars furiously, and it's got this like glower on its face at you. Well done. Next we've got Paragrinder in the attack.
I'm
Did you do my fox?
Heard it.
Oh, so yeah, and Viter's at 5 for initiative, so he's going to come a little bit later.
He's at okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
So go ahead, Paragrinder.
Okay, well, I don't want to hurt it, but it is hitting me really hard. I could throw a fireball at it, but it seems to me that lighting something on fire that is hitting me is maybe a bad idea. Are we still tied together?
Yes, you are.
So I scurry out from under it and like run around it so it's now wrapped up in with us and we can like keep it away from each other. How about that?
I love that. So yeah, you're doing the Hoth maneuver. And,
yes, yeah, I'm taking it down. Yeah.
You as your move, this is great because you have up to 30 feet of movement that you can do on your turn, and you definitely have enough space to do this.
I do 30 feet of movement in a tight circle around it. That's what I do.
Yeah, you're just scurrying, and because you're halfling, you're small, and he doesn't quite notice. So you just like run in a circle around this thing, and its legs are now bound together with that rope, it is unable to move. And you also you have the ability to attack as well. So
Oh,
that
well,
movement-
now I light it on fire.
great.
While we're tied up to it.
It'll just burn off the rope, and then we'll be fine. It'll just be like burning mulch. It'll be all right. Trust me. This will be okay.
Trust, yeah, and always trust somebody who says trust me. Let's see. So yeah, we're gonna have you do. So how do you? What is your
Wait,
method?
how
for-
many things can I do? Like one thing?
So basically, generally it varies a little bit, but generally you get two things. You can do an attack, and you can do an additional action like speaking or moving or some minor thing like flipping a
Can I
switch.
summon something? Can I use my conjuration? It's one of my.
Yes.
Okay. So first, I minor conjure a thing of gasoline, and I dump it onto the dude in case he's too damp to light, and then I shoot a fireball at the mulchy monster. That's what I do.
I love this so much. I'm going to give you a point of inspiration
Hey.
for that.
While we're tied to it with hempen rope, just
Listen, it'll be
throw that away.
Yep. And that fireball, I'm just checking on Paragrinder. So the firebolt is a cantrip for you, so that's not going to cost you a spell slot. Now, ordinarily, let's see. So the way that that's going to work with that fireball is you're going to have to make a attack check on that. So the way that's going to work is you do a 1d20 plus your spell attack modifier, which for you is a 5. So let's see how this goes to see if that fireball hits. So you have rolled a natural 1, which generally means that things fail catastrophically, but you do have that point of inspiration, which you can use to give yourself advantage on the roll, so you could roll again if you want.
I mean, he is now soaked in gasoline. Yeah, okay. Let's use it. Sure, yeah.
Okay.
I'm over this guy.
So we're going to roll again, and you rolled a 8 plus 5, so that fireball flies towards the Shambling mound, and it just kind of initially it sizzles into the wet mulch of it, but because that gasoline is there, suddenly a little spark catches, and the entire thing just erupts into flame.
Yes, burn, bitch, burn!
And so we're going to have everybody who is close to it, which is the entire party because everyone's so close, we're going to have you do some saving throws for the
Sorry, everybody.
for the party. That's going to be a dex check to see if you're able to avoid this massive fireball. So that's going to be a 1d20 plus your dexterity, which I'm going to take care of that for Paragrinder and Charisma. So that's an 18. So well done. Paragrinder is just able to avoid that. And then 20 for Charisma. So you guys are able to avoid Agrias and Grady. How's it looking?
19 for Grady.
And 17 for Agrias.
See, I told you it'd be fine.
You guys are just fine. So this fireball erupts from this thing. Everybody just simultaneously just backs out of the way. And it just bursts right past you and singes your eyebrows a little bit, but otherwise you're undamaged. The Shambling mound itself is in very poor condition after this. So I'm going to roll for that.
I feel really bad.
It is just howling furiously at you and swinging its burning arms and trying to grab at you and pull you in, but everyone's able to avoid its grasp. It takes 12 points of damage there. And when the fireball subsides, you can see this thing is this charred, howling, angry monster. The rope is burned away now, so you're no longer tethered together. And it is Vidor's turn, the fox.
Okay, so Vidor, he has circled around. He's faster than we are. And he is going to jump up and attack with Bite. And he has advantage because I'm next to the plant monster, and so it gives him advantage.
Okay.
And so he got a 15 to hit.
That'll do it.
Okay, and then when he does that, he jumps up and pushes against, and he has to make a strength saving throw or be knocked over the plant.
Oh, okay. So let's have you do that.
So he gets 7 points of damage, and then you do your saving throw.
All right.
This fox is better than all of us at fighting.
He's more on task.
We're all like tied up and like limping around, and he's just like. struggling.
So the Shambling Mound has rolled a 14 there.
Okay, so he doesn't fall prone.
Yeah. But he's also in very, very poor shape. I will say that.
It's bad.
It
we
was
help him?
Shambling. It was what?
I said he's a wreck.
He is, yes. Exactly. He was shambling before, and now he's barely can limp forward. So he's taken. Sorry, what was the damage roll from the fox?
7.
Okay. And next we've got Agrius.
Okay, I want to walk up to the mound, acting totally unfazed by the backflip I just did away from a fireball. Like I see this all the time. And,
While tied up.
Yeah, while tied up. I want to cast command on it.
Okay.
Shit.
And then I want to point to the door and just say smash.
Ooh, okay. So let me have you describe what command is and what you're going to do to cast that.
So command lets me say one word, and the creature has to complete the task of the one word that I've given.
Mm-hmm.
So I still have Charismo's pumpkin spice flavored scarf over my face. So I dramatically pull the scarf away, but it doesn't come fully off, so it takes like another pull to get it off of my face.
Mm-hmm.
And then I regain my composure, point to the door, and say, First, I make hand motions like Grady did, as if I had a fox, but to nothing in particular, just like, because I thought it was so cool. And then I point to the door and say, smash.
Great. The monster stands upright for a moment and then starts to lumber towards that giant door and raises up its fist, and it smashes into the door and smashes again and smashes. And on the third time, the door swings open and the monster just kind of like slumps over next to it. And so it is completely dark beyond that door, but the party is now it is open and available to the party.
Did it die?
No, it is slumped over, but it is still kind of like heaving with in the kind of the last death throes of life.
I want to summon a watering can and put him out. I feel bad for him. I don't want him to die. Like, I just want him to get out of the way. Can we help him out a little? I'm gonna here, whale my nose and pour a little water on him to make him feel better, because he he's out. He
is unhealthy. I like that as a gesture of kindness. So I hold on to that, because if we get to you in the attack order, I want to see how that goes. Agrius, is there anything else that you want to do on your turn?
Yeah, I want to move up so I'm right up on it. I want to be engaged with it in fighting.
So you are now just as close as you can get to this thing, and the Shambling Mound, knowing that you took over its mind for a moment, it is its turn in the attack order now, and it turns to face you, and it's going to raise.
I've made a huge mistake.
And it turns to face you, and let's see. I'm just calling it up again. And it reaches towards you, with the charred, damaged, chopped up vines that it has. It's going to try to grapple you, and so that's going to be a strength or dexterity save, whichever is better for you. Agrius. So roll a strength or dex there. Oh, that's going to be strength for you.
12.
Okay, so you have rolled a 12, and the Shambling Mound has rolled a 17. So it is able to completely contain you inside of its vines. You are also blinded and restrained inside there. So the next time this thing moves, It's going to be able to squeeze you tight and do some more damage to you. You are unable to escape from this thing, and it starts to ooze up the pyramid. It's like climbing higher up towards the top now, with you wrapped in its vines.
Like up the side of it?
Up the side.
I start frantically making the fox hand signals.
And it is, so that was the top of the attack order, and it is Charismo's turn. So you've got your weapons, which are your dagger and your rapier. You've got your vicious, your vicious mockery. You've also got your prestidigitation cantrip, which allows you to create minor things. You've got some spells that you've got include Tasha's Hideous Laughter, which allows you to make something think that everything is funny. You've got Unseen Servant, which allows you to create an invisible creature that will do your bidding. You've got Dissonant Whispers, which causes the target to feel terrible pain. And of course, you've got Animal Friendship. And you've got Pyrotechnics, which allows you to create fireworks.
Oh, I like the one. Wait, sorry. What am I fighting again? Is it still the mound?
It's still the mound. It looks very
But
weak.
now
It's
it's
just barely
taking
managed.
her up the pyramid.
Yep.
She's like roped into it.
That's right. Okay, so maybe I will do the Dissonant Whispers.
Great.
And also, can I do two? Can I do a 2-for-1? Can I also do the thing where he thinks everything is funny because I don't want him to be in agony? So can I?
Really a mindfuck.
It really is.
You're having him laugh at his own death. That's like the
It
Joker.
really is. And then there's
Yeah.
So
what a way to go.
I love this so much, and you are able to do this because you do currently have 2 points of inspiration, so you can use that to give yourself a bonus action. So we're going to start with the Dissonant Whispers, which to cast that, you whisper a discordant melody that one creature of your choice is racked with terrible pain. And it takes some significant damage from that. So first, let's have you do that discordant melody.
Oh, okay. Do 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 do.
Aw.
Igor's is trying again.
With your muffled sobbing from inside the Shambling mound.
All the cats from the jungle return.
So it is going to take a few hits of damage, and then you can cast the Hideous Laughter as well, and that'll use up your 2 inspiration points. And a creature of your choice perceives everything as hilariously funny and falls into fits of laughter, and it is incapacitated. So let me have you describe how you want to cast that.
Oh, sure. I think that probably I just start like softly laughing. You know what I mean? And then it sort of builds up inside me until it almost feels like a scream, and then I release it.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's just one big booming laugh that starts as like a giggle, and they're all like, what's so funny? And I just keep losing it.
So this like,
and then after I release the laugh, I light a cigarette.
Perfect.
From his like smoking remains.
Yeah. Exactly. Like the end of Heathers. Yeah.
The laughter, like it shoots towards this thing. It's like a visible shockwave of laughter that hits this monster. And before it even hits, you've already lit your cigarette from like a smoldering leaf that was on the ground. And so the monster is racked with pain, and it starts to shudder, and pieces of vegetation are just falling from it, and little bits of decaying swamp matter and skeletons of small rodents that it's picked up in its time. And it's also shrieking with laughter as it falls apart. And the laughter echoes through the swamp as it completely disintegrates and releases Agrius onto the side of the temple, and the last little bit of it is there's like a spinal column of stone that just writhes around and then crumbles to dust on the side of the temple. And congratulations, you have defeated the Shambling Mound.
I'm convinced you're laughing at me.
Right as the mound falls, can I turn to the group and say, and that's comedy?
Amazing. I'm definitely giving you a point of inspiration for catchphrase there. Amazing, wonderful. Yeah, so now the party, you are a little shaken by this experience, but you've all survived, and the doors to the temple are open.
Wow. Okay. Whose turn is it?
I think we're
out of
just
attack. So
so
yeah,
just
so
whatever.
Like before.
The turn order is over.
Can you send your lights down there?
Yeah, I think they're still around. I feel really bad for this thing, but clearly there's nothing left to do for him. I don't love this. I'm thinking this cult might not be a good idea after all. But yes, I very tentatively send my lights down into the tunnel. It's a tunnel, right? Yeah. So they're like, but I think I have 4 of them. So 3 of them go down. 1 of them stays with us, just so that we can keep enjoying the cigarette or whatever. But 30 feet in, some lights. What do we see?
So you send your lights on down that tunnel, and as they're passing down through this stone passageway, you can see some glinting pairs of lights that are revealed to be the eyes of some more cats. The cats out in the jungle were spotted like jungle cats. The cats inside the temple are completely black, and they're just watching. They're staring out at you, and the lights of your orbs are like passing past them, lighting them up, and they're staring motionless at you.
I want to go to the mouth of the tunnel, and because I'm a ranger, I can like kind of simply communicate with beasts, see like what their deal is, if they're aggressive, if they're nice, if they're hungry. So I just want to get down on one knee and commune with these cats.
Okay, yeah. So describe to me as a ranger. What is it exactly like? What are you doing to them, and are you like asking them questions?
Yeah, let me actually look at the mechanic, and then I'll story it up. Through sounds and gestures, you can communicate simple ideas to beasts as an action. I can read its mood and intent. I can read its emotional state, if it's affected by magic, if it's food, if it was hungry or whatever.
So these cats are hungry. They're unconcerned. They're unworried. They are completely calm, and they are. They're not happy. It's not like they're like, oh, hooray, it's you. They don't like recognize you. And they're not happy to see you, but they are interested in you and they're curious about you.
So they're just normal cats then. They don't like us, but they're interested.
I'm giving him more milk. I'm summoning another thing of milk.
I would like to also, while he's doing that, take that map from him that has the drawing on it of the vault and show it to the cats and communicate that basic idea. And with a little bit of that raw meat from the boat that I was feeding to Vidor, kind of get trade.
Sure. So the cats come over to that bowl of milk that's been conjured up by Paragrinder. Unlike the cats in the jungle who are just lapping it up happily, these cats take a few licks, but they're not super interested in it. One of them picks up the raw meat and trots away with it. And one of these black cats, looks at the map and like tilts its head from side to side. And then it turns and it starts bounding down this darkened tunnel.
Oh, I think we should follow.
Sure. Let's do it.
Let's go.
Okay, so the party moves down into that darkened tunnel. You're feeling around. The orbs there are lighting things up. You turn a corner and you find yourself in a round stone chamber. It's cool and clammy. It smells like a basement that's been scattered with old potpourri. In this chamber, there are 7 doors, including the entrance that you walk through. There are 4 statues of muscular nude men holding up the vaulted ceiling.
Hey, okay, all right. I'm sketching all of this very carefully.
We live here now. This is our new house.
Yeah.
There are cats mingling around your feet, and directly in front of you is a counter with a desk behind it. Sitting behind the desk is a very tan woman of around 45 with chunky turquoise jewelry and a tall pile of bleached blonde hair. She is holding a glass of wine, and she says, "Oh, hello, honeys. Are you here to join the little organization that we got going on here?"
Charisma, this is all you.
Yeah.
Oh God! All right. So I look at her. First, I ask if she's the Long Island medium, but then, or if she's Susie Orman. But then I tell her, I'm a leader, not a joiner, unless I'm eager, and we're here. And after she deciphers, she gives me a quizzical look, and I say, we're here to learn and to earn the trust of all.
And she takes a sip from her glass of wine, and it instantly magically refills. And she says, "Oh, honey, I never been to Long Island, but medium, I'm the Long Island extra. I am delighted that you all are here. We have got a deal for you. Welcome to the Cult of Calgon. We've got hot stone massage here. We've got extra plush 800 count cotton robes. We've got eternal life. We are gonna fix you
and
up
eternal life.
good."
Okay.
Now, of course, to join the cult, we just got to run you through a few basic tests. But you're gonna love it. I can tell just from looking at you that you are a perfect match for this organization. It is gonna change your life completely. And she stands up from the desk. She's got a little clipboard in hand, and she gestures towards the doors that are there. And she says, "We've got 4 little tests that we just, we like to run people through to make sure it's a good fit and figure out what they're going to do once they join. Calgon likes it this way. He's a real great guy. You're going to love him." And, of course, once you pass the tests, you join the cult, and that means you get the grand tour. I'll show you around. You get to see the vault. But first, we're going to have to do just a few little investigations here. We've got, and she gestures towards the door. She says, there's the personality test, there's the president's physical fitness challenge, there's the compatibility test, there's the self-defense test. Let me know if any of these is tickling your fancy, or if there's any that you really want to do.
We have to pass all 4?
Oh yeah, honey, we gotta run you through the full battery. And so she's gesturing. There are these 4 doors. There's also the door that you came through, and there's another one. There's another door marked supply closet.
Grady licks some of the sap from her sword from killing the Shambling mound and says, "Let's try the self-defense."
Okay.
Oh, the country.
She says, "Excellent choice. That's one of my favorites. Just right this way." And she's like kind of looking you up and down. And she's like, I can tell you've been through a lot. It's not easy to get out here. And so she pushes open the door to the self-defense test. And inside, you're in a large, dim room. There's a pit in the center of the room full of bubbling mud. The pit is lined with mossy, warm stones, and there's some seaweed floating on the surface. Off to the side of the pit, there's some patio chairs and a pile of towels and robes. And she says, "I like to just hang out here sometimes on quiet days. You guys just make yourselves comfortable. The test should start in just a little bit." And so she backs out through the door and swings it shut. And now you're in there alone with that mud bath.
Can I inspect the mud and see if it seems good to put on your face or not?
Sure. So let me have you roll a investigation.
I don't wait. I just jump in.
Great.
Seeing him jump in, I'm like, never mind.
So Paragrinder just leaps into the mud, and you disappear beneath the surface for a moment, and then you rise up out of it, and you keep rising up and up and up and up, and you are standing on a humanoid form of mud and stone and moss and seaweed. It is a mud golem, and we're going to have you roll for initiative again.
What have you done?
Wow.
Found a boyfriend. That's what I did.
So Paragrinder has rolled a 13 for initiative. And that's a 9 plus 3, so that's a 12 for charisma. 18 for the golem. Grady, how's it looking?
15 for Grady, and then 4 for Vidor.
4 for Vidor, and Agrius?
I got a 3.
And 3. Okay. So this mud golem has gotten the jump on you guys, and so with Paragrinder, just like you're straddling its shoulders like it's giving you a piggyback ride.
Hell yeah. Okay.
So it moans furiously at you and starts thrashing around. And let's got him up.
Does it have eyes? I cover its eyes.
Ooh, yes. Okay, great. Yeah, you like have your like arm wrapped around each side of its head, so it can't see. And I'm gonna give it disadvantage on its attacks for that. And so it starts by, like, it knows that you're up there. And so it tries to reach up and pound you with its fist. Like, it's got rocks embedded in its fist. And it hits you with that. And it's going to do a 15. And I think that's going to beat Paragrinder. Yeah, so it is able to hit you with that. And it does 2d8, 4, and 10.
Oh.
So it does 10 points of damage on Paragrinder, which that is half of your hit points. So it just slams you with one of its rocky fists.
I'm so brave.
And then with the other fist, it reaches around and pounds you again. And this time it rolls a 2. So because it's blinded, it is not able to hit you with that second one. But then it like stumbles forward into the middle of the party, and so the rest of you're just standing around its feet, staring up at this thing with Paragrinder just like straddling it up on top. And next in the order, we've got Grady.
All right, so because it hasn't been an hour since we fought that mound, right?
That's correct.
How long? Okay, so I can, as a bonus action, I can make my hunter's mark go on this thing now.
Yep.
And then, so he's got his hands over the eyes. So I'm gonna draw my bow and try to shoot right between his hands, up in the golem.
Oh my god, I love this so much. Okay, so Grady, let's have you do for the bow. It's gonna be 1d20 plus 5 for attack.
9 to hit.
Okay, and let's see.
It's not humanoid, right? It's a construct.
It is.
You did use the word humanoid.
You did say the word humanoid.
It is a construct.
Yeah, that's right. My
humanoid in shape.
if it was the class humanoid, my ranger's good at them. But if it's a construct, then it's not.
Yeah. So let's see, and its AC is 13. So sorry, what did you roll to hit?
11. Less than that. Yeah, 11.
Yeah, so you let loose that arrow, and it just like sails through the mud. Like your aim is great, and it sails through the mud of this monster, and just out the other side, and clang like sticks into the back wall of the chamber. So it doesn't do any damage. And then we've got next in the attack order is Paragrinder.
It goes right between Paragrinder's legs. The arrow.
Yes.
Oh, man. I'm half dead. Is that what I'm hearing?
That is correct.
God damn. Well, what the hell? Okay. It's made of mud. I don't imagine.
Just so you don't have to worry too much about this, the way that death works is once you get down to 0, you're not dead. You're just unconscious. And we have a whole process for figuring out what happens then. So you don't just die when you hit 0.
Okay. I've got a monster. I'm on top of it. And he's blind. And I've been struck in the back. He's all spiky. I've already done that.
So you do have.
I can What were you gonna say?
I mean, you do have your dagger if you just want to like stab it.
But he's just like made of mud. What's that gonna do? I don't know.
And you also have the fire bolts.
Yeah. Maybe I'm gonna web him up. I'm gonna web up his arm that he hit me with. So I'm gonna web up his arms.
Fantastic. So describe what that does and describe how you're gonna cast it.
I conjure a mass of sticky webbing at a point of my choice. I'm gonna like web his arms to the back of the wall behind us while I've got my hands over his eyes. So I wiggle my nose and webbing shoots out of the walls.
Awesome.
Cast your bondage spell.
Yes.
So great, yeah. So you are able to affix. Let me see. I'm just gonna call. That's Paragrinder. And is that one of your?
It's a spell,
spells?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's right. It's the level 2 spell here. So that's gonna use one of your spell slots. So yeah, you are able to cast that sticky webbing, and it shoots back towards the back wall and affixes the thing to the mud monster's arm to the back wall of the chamber, and now it is like restrained. It is held in place against this back wall, so it can only attack with one of its hands.
Awesome.
So great, and I'm gonna give you Paragrinder. I'll give you a point of inspiration for that one because I like that you got it stuck there. And then next we've got Charisma.
And I very bravely stay on blinding it, by the way. So
Perfect. Yes. You're trembling and scared, but you're still there.
So I have a rapier and a dagger left. Is that right?
Yep. And you can still use, your vicious mockery to do psychic damage.
I think I'm going to have to do that because otherwise I just run up and stab him with a dagger and then run away. So for vicious mockery, I'll probably just say, you may be dirty, but I play dirty. I look at people like you and I think, my God, you need a shower. But the ultimate shower is golden.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I like what you're threatening there. And I'm actually going to have you do an intimidation check on that. So with advantage, I'm going to have you roll. That's an 18 and a 7. So we're going to use the 18, and we're going to have that do quite a bit of damage to this thing. Great. You do 6 points of damage on him. And so he quivers nervously. The mud bath does not like the idea of a golden shower. This is contrary to its nature. So it is not happy to hear about this. And then next in the attack order, we've got Vidor the fox.
And so is the golem still standing in the mud, or is it like on the tile next to it? Where is it?
So it is risen up out of the pool and is standing on the edge. So the pool is empty, with its arm held.
Oh, it
in
was
place.
the pool.
What?
It was the pool.
It was the mud in the pool. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, then, okay. So Vidor. So Vidor is going to run up behind me, jump on my shoulder, and then launch up at its face. And then try to do a bite attack.
Great.
If I can do that. Okay. And so that is a 20 to hit.
That'll do it.
And then 2d4. And it should do. This might not be super narrative. I don't know. It should do a saving throw of strength to see if it gets knocked down by the blast of the face.
So it has rolled. It's rolled a 5. Let's have the fox. Let me have you do your damage first. So that's 2d4 plus 2, and then also the hunter's mark should give you an advantage on that too.
No, not for the fox. It's 9 just from the fox. 9.
So it does 9 points of damage on that thing, and then with that 5, the fox has the mud golem is like trying to swat away the fox, and in doing so, because it's off balance with the halfling on its back and its arm restrained, it just slips and falls over. So it is now like on its ass with its arm like still like held up in place against the wall. And it is Agrias's turn.
So, seeing Charisma's successful intimidation, I try to mimic him, but I say, I may be dirty, but you are golden, and then realize that I fucked it up and lose confidence, and then try to just run up and try to hit it with my sword.
Great. All right. Let's do a 1d20 plus 4.
Okay. 23.
That'll do. 1d8 plus 4.
I also want to use Divine Smite on it because I'm so embarrassed by what I just said.
Fantastic. Okay, so describe what Divine Smite's going to do for you.
I channel my god's energy into my strike and do additional radiant damage.
Fantastic.
It's really just the thing that I do when I'm really embarrassed and get frustrated with myself. That it manifests.
You're like calling for mom.
While I say
Yeah.
it, like, I may be golden. What did I say? And I'm like so embarrassed with
Damn it.
myself. So I roll 5 + 4 slashing with a normal, so 9 with my attack, and then I think I rolled just another 1d8 for radiant
Okay.
for divine. Is that right?
That is 2d8 for
okay.
yeah.
Okay. 8, 15 additional radiant damage. I was so embarrassed with myself that I just like channeled all my fury into hitting this thing. So I always talk. I'm so embarrassed.
So you just like smash your longsword down into this thing, and it starts this like shock wave of quivering energy that like radiates through the mud golem, and shaking like rocks and things loose. And the mud golem looks kind of confused, and he looks down at you as these radiating waves are running through it, and it says, I don't get it. And that is the last thing it says. It just loses composure and just like gushes down into mud and oozes back down into the pool, releasing Paragrinder from its shoulders.
I don't even realize I killed it. I just turn around and say, I tried to be cool. I always screw that up. I'm really sorry. Not even aware that it disappeared.
And congratulations, you have defeated the mud golem.
I'm like very wounded, right? Is that what happened?
Yeah, but you do also have a potion of healing, I believe.
Wait, I want to run over to Paragrinder, put my hands in his face, and say, "Don't do that again." And then put all my laying hands points into bringing him back up to full health.
Okay, yeah. So you've got that pool of I think 15 points, so you can bring Paragrinder all the way back to full health there, and you will still have 5 points left.
I give you all of it, and then I lean in really close and I say, "First one's always free," and then push up.
I'm deeply touched. But based on Charisma's odd response that the monster gave it, I then walk over to the like remainder pool and pee on what's in it. Just as like a gesture of contempt. And it's not like it like takes me a minute to work up the courage to pee. Just like, I'm shy in front of people.
It's
But
just
we
dead
wait.
quiet while you
Wait
wait.
it out.
We're just staring at you.
So as you're doing that, the door to the room opens and Carolyn walks in.
As I'm
And,
doing it. Like she has to wait too.
Give me a second.
Yeah.
she waits until you're done. She's like, "Let me tell you, honey, you're not the first one to do that in there." She said, but congratulations. I'm so impressed. You guys, you've all saved, you did the hardest challenge first. There have been some real messy fights in this room. I'm very, very happy to see how quickly you dispatched that thing. I'll be taking a little soak in there later. But in the meantime, we've still got the personality test, the president's physical challenge, and the compatibility test. Which one would you like to head into?
Wait, which one was this? This wasn't the fitness test? Which one was that?
Oh, honey, no, this was self-defense.
Man, okay.
I mumble to myself, "This isn't like high school. This isn't like high school," and then volunteer for the presidential fitness test. I can do this.
She says, "Oh, my favorite, right this way, dears." And she leads everybody out of the room. And then
As she's leading us out of the room, I check the doorknob on the supply closet.
it is locked.
How much time do I have? I kind of want to pick it. I want to know what's in there.
I'm not sure if, let's see, if Paragrinder do you have lockpicking tools? I don't think you do, but the rest...
I can summon them. They weigh less than 10 pounds.
Could you conjure a key?
Yeah, I could. I'm going to do that. I'm going to use my extensive knowledge of lore to know what kind of
Key
lock
lore.
I need, what kind of key I need, and I'm going to summon a key that works on this thing.
I just want to shoot him a dirty look and be like, "What did I just say about not being a hero?"
So I'm going to have you do a Arcana check there, Paragrinder. So I'm going to
Okay.
roll a D20. Oh,
I
you
have
did.
a +5.
Yeah, you did very well. So you can tell exactly what shape of key is needed to unlock that supply cabinet.
Right, look on my nose.
And
Key
you pull it
manifest. Yeah.
Yep. You just pull it from thin air with
Oh,
your...
I lost sound.
And you, as she's leading you back through that room, you just kind of like stick it in the lock and jiggle it around, and the door swings open. You can see inside there are some towels and some robes, some scented candles, and there is there's a employees must take half-hour breaks sign, and there's some documentation and stuff in there. And Carolyn, she sees you rooting around there. She's like, "Come on, honey, come on. We're short on time. I'll show you all the supplies later. There'll be plenty of time for that."
All right, I take a towel because I'm pee-soaked and muddy, and I towel off.
And he's only into one of those.
Yeah, because when he peed on the mud before, he accidentally just peed on himself.
Yeah, I have terrible control. It was really bad. Yeah. My pants don't have like a functional fly, so it was like
they're functional, but not they're fashionable, but not functional.
Exactly.
Damn. Carolyn guides you into a room with 4 contraptions arrayed in a line. The first of these contraptions is a giant wheel with a track around the inside and a series of glowing numbered blocks beside it. The second is 3 treasure chests bulging at the seams. The third is a giant nose hanging on the wall and dripping with slime. And the third is a ramp covered in swamp scum with a spiral chute on either side. And she turns to you and she's like, "All right, honeys, you've probably seen this kind of thing all the time. Now, what you got to do here, you just got to collect a flag from each one of these obstacles one at a time. We're going to start down here at this end. You're going to need to finish all 4 before the time on the clock runs out." And she gestures up to the wall and a 60-second timer lights up.
Whoa, wait. What are we looking at? We got a nose, we got a ramp.
So it starts with there's a giant wheel with numbered blocks next to it. There are 3 treasure chests bulging at the seams. There's a giant nose just hanging on the wall, dripping with goo. And then there's a ramp with swamp scum. And on each of them, there's a little red flag that you have to grab.
Grady whistles, and Vidor jumps on the wheel and starts running the wheel. It's like a hamster wheel. Is that what you mean?
Yep.
Okay.
And she's like, "Oh, you guys are
really
fast." And so the clock starts ticking down. And so Vidor is running fast. Is there anything else that the party wants to do to try to, like, the one on the lowest numbered block is starting to glimmer, and the 2 is just sort of flickering a little bit. Anything else that the party wants to do to make it go faster?
I'm going to cast Minor Illusion, and make like a hunk of meat hanging in front of Vidor.
Okay. Great. And so the fox is running faster and faster and faster and faster, and the numbers are lighting up faster and faster. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the top, the 6, is translucent, and you can see the flag in there, and the front of it swings open, and the flag flutters on down to the bottom. And Grady, you can grab that flag, and Carolyn's like, "Well done, good job. Now on to the next one. Go, go, go!" And she like pushes the whole party over to these 3 treasure chests. And so they're just bulging at the seams. And who wants to start rooting around in the treasure chest to find this flag?
Can I use detect magic?
Yeah. So let's have. So Agrius does detect magic, and I think that's that's a cantrip for you, right?
I think it's a spell. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So that's a spell for you. So yeah, you do detect magic. That's your second spell slot of 3.
But as I'm doing it, I look over at Charisma and be like, "Can you sing something to get me in the zone, please?"
Wait, we have 60 seconds. Can I use my mage hand to like hold the second hand from ticking anymore?
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna do that. It's one of my cantrips. I'm just gonna like keep nudging the second hand back.
Great. And so Carolyn is really focused on these treasure chests, and so she doesn't notice that there's a little hand holding it there. Takes another swig of wine, downs the entire thing, and it magically refills. And she's like, "You got 50 seconds still on the clock. Go, go, go!" And meanwhile, so you've cast detect magic, Agrius, on the treasure chest. You can see the third one is glowing. There's a glow coming from deep within that third one.
I'm still waiting for Charisma to sing me something because I don't have the confidence to open them without a song.
Yeah. I conjure a microphone and a martini, and I just sing "Diamonds and Pearls." I feel like it's even though it's a race to the finish, I need to calm us down so it's a ballad.
I hear it and I mumble to myself, it is just like high school, and then open the third chest that was glowing.
Great. And Agrias, let me have you roll a investigation check there.
Okay, so I am...
And I'm going to give you advantage on that roll.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Thank God I have advantage. Nice. 19 minus 1, 18.
Great. Yeah. So you open that chest and you plunge your hand in. You pull out the flag, and there's a kitten that's kind of like clinging to it. So you pull out a flag with a kitten dangling from the bottom, and it's super cute.
I say I have a fox now too, showing to Grady. Finally.
And Carolyn's goes, you got it. You got 50 seconds left on the clock. She takes another swig of wine and she pushes the party on to the next thing.
I lunge into the nose, like right up into the nostril, and just start rooting around in there as like furiously as I can, trying to find this slimy flag.
So
is that where it is? I don't even know. I saw an orifice and I'm going in.
No, the flag is just hanging on top. No. It's inside. So yeah, you can feel like there's all kinds of goo that's just like sliding down your arm. Some like dead fish fall out of this thing. And Carolyn's, she's so excited. Go. Is there anything you want to do to try to like detect the flag or find it or anything?
No, I just want to get grosser and grosser. I'm not even really looking. I'm just I'm just getting as filthy as I can. No, I'm what could I do to make it? Do I still have my lights? Light up snot? I don't know. Maybe the mage hand could do we need how's the timer looking?
So the mage hand, it's still holding it up at 50 seconds, so you're doing pretty well there.
I'm doing fine. I'm gonna leave that there. That's what I'm gonna concentrate on and just like route around in the slime. I don't see anything else.
So you like eventually you're able to like you feel something softer in there and you like pull it out. And now you're just completely like you're unrecognizable. You're just covered in all kinds of goo and swamp and detritus, and you're just like this a pile of wet gunk.
Very Canadian. Did you guys have You Can't Do That on television? The Lannis Morris.
Yes.
Time? Yeah.
Guys, we're on a timer right now.
And so you find that. You find that thing and you pull it out. You're just like covered in this green slime. And Carolyn says, "How did you do it so fast?" "I don't know." And then she pushes you on to the next puzzle. And she's like, "Go. You've got 50 seconds on the clock." And she takes another swig of wine and the glass magically refills. And so now you're standing in front of this slippery chute lined with swamp scum and frogs, and there's banana peels on it. The flag's at the platform at the top of the ramp, and there's a spiral slide at the back of it. So who wants to try to rush up and get this?
I know physical comedy, so I'll do it. Someone leave.
We just
Bryan's.
Oh, sorry, I can hear you, but let me try to pull it up again.
Yeah, I think you
can keep going.
Uh-oh.
At the thought of you doing physical comedy, he was like, "I'm out. The game is over."
I can't take it anymore.
So we've had just a slight adjustment of position, and James is going to fix that. Oh, there we go. Everything's working. Great. Yay. Fabulous. Yeah, so sorry. I was completely distracted by that. So sorry, what are you going to do to fix to get the flag at the top of the slide?
So I have to climb the slide first. Is that it?
Yeah, so the flag is up there at the top of this like straight chute covered in slimy frogs and banana peels.
Oh, gotcha. So I'm going to say, ladies, gentlemen, hand me your scarves. And I'll tie all the scarves together. And then I'm going to run back to the treasure chest to get some of those jewels, put some in my pockets, but then tie them on the end so it's weighted. And then go up, full studded in diamonds, and climb up this thing. And then scream, acting as reacting. Grab the flag. Grab the flag and collapse with exhaustion.
I love this. I'm going to have you roll a performance check on that with advantage. And you roll a 19 and a 21. So you're doing just fine up there. And you just like collapse down in a heap at the top of this thing. But it is very slippery. So just motionless, you slowly slide down that spiral slide at the back. And it makes like
with a cigarette.
Yes.
Yes.
Like leaving a trail of smoke.
Exactly.
And just like everything is silent. We hear that like squeak. as you slide down the slide and land at the bottom. And Carolyn is like, congratulations! You did it. And she looks up at the clock and it's still at 50. She's like, nobody's ever done it this fast. You guys are incredible. I can't wait to have you as members here. You're going to love everything about this organization. We've got 2 tests left for you. There's the compatibility test and the personality test. Which would you like?
I'm jotting down the phrase "acting is reacting" as if it's the most profound thing I've ever heard in my whole life.
Making a note for future tattoo.
Which ones are left? The
compatibility and the personality test.
I'm interested in compatibility. I want to know more about Calgon, so I feel like I would ask that one. I'm taking notes as we're going. Yeah,
okay.
Let's see that one.
So she ushers you into out of that room and into another darkened room, and an altar slowly rises up out of the floor. And
yep.
So she stands behind it with she's underlit, and so she has a spooky look to her face, and she says, "And now, we must split the party into pairs."
Oh.
She says, How will you divide yourselves into 2 teams?"
Grady tries to make it work to like the fox is her partner.
She says, "Oh, honey, I love animals, but it's not going to be any help to you here."
I'm immediately convinced I'm going to be picked last and just put my head down like, I just know it. It is like high school.
Grady respected the pissing on the grave thing, so Grady is going to pull a grinder.
Okay, I'm into it. Yeah, let's do it.
And
Those 2 are vibing, I feel. So
I need. I look and notice that Agrees is the only one left, and I stand there for 10 minutes staring, trying to think of what I'm going to do. And eventually,
I totally sing "Simply the Best" to remind Charisma of the magic that we previously had.
I look at Agrees and I go, "Who are you?" I've never seen her. and then I finally pick her, and I'm like, "All right, kid, you and me."
And so the light glows red beneath Carolyn, and she says, "Well done. Now on each team, who wants to give and who wants to receive?"
I feel like I'm a giver.
Oh.
Agreed. Like, that sounds right.
I will receive.
Yeah, I think Grady likes to be on top.
And she says, well done, party. And next to the altar on either side, 2 seats rise up out of the floor. And she says, givers, you're going to need to get your receiver to say certain words in a category without saying those words yourself. Each team has 90 seconds.
Wait, so Charisma is the giver and I'm the receiver on our team?
That is correct.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we're going to lose.
And so here's how we're going to manage this. James is in the Skype chat right now.
It's not going to work. So.
Oh, wait, sorry. We're having some technical issues. Okay,
How do I get to
so
that?
Bryan Safi, we have emailed you your list of words.
Oh, okay.
Does Matt want to message me or something?
Yeah, and James.
Or James.
You're going to do the same for Bryan. Okay, great. So we're going to email or message your list of words to you, and you'll need to go through the list in order, starting with number 1, and to get your partner to say those words. But of course, you can't say the word itself. You can't spell it. You can't say what it rhymes with. And if they're not getting it, of course, you can always say pass.
Okay. I haven't received it yet.
So we may start with. Bryan Wuest. So has Grady got her words?
Is it Facebook or Gmail?
Oh, I just got it. I just
okay.
got it.
So
That-
great.
yeah,
So Charisma has it, and I'm getting the stopwatch ready here. Do you have one?
Yeah, but if you want to type it, that's fine.
Yeah.
And both Bryans are the givers?
Both Bryans are the givers. That's correct. Yes. So you have the list appears on one side of the temple, on one side of the altar, and so Carolyn
I'm
says,
into this cult.
She says, all right, Now the timer's going to start when you give your first clue, and the category is, and she's looking at Charisma, and she says, "You're going to go first for Agrias," and the category is tops and bottoms. Tops and bottoms. Please describe these things that you wear. Things that you wear, and go.
So you wear this on the bottom. It's not pants. Typically, a woman. No, it doesn't have legs. It doesn't have legs. Shirt. Yes. Yep. This is another word for shirt. Yep. This is what I distributed to everyone. They're scented. Yes. These are not pants, but you wear them in the summer.
Shorts.
Yes. You usually wear these with shoes.
Socks.
Yes. You wear these at night before you go to sleep.
Pajamas.
Or when you go to... Yes. And, oh my God. Oh, I see. Okay. It's a really fancy word for what you wear to hold up your breasts.
Brassiere.
The French. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's
That's
like a
it.
ding, 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 ding. And she's like, not bad. You did it, honey. That's 52 seconds. Well done. All right. And so she kind of like scoots the team out of the way, and she's like, all right. Next we've got Grady Peregrinder. Take a seat. And so Grady, you've got your list of words?
I do.
Okay. And she says, let's see if you can beat 52 seconds there.
52 seconds. Okay. All right.
And for round 2, the category is furry friends. And describe these types of animals. And go.
Okay. These are what you'll see at the Neverglade Eagle.
Bears.
Yeah. So she snaps at Vidor, and Vidor kind of howls.
Oh, a wolf. A fox, a wolf.
A wolf. Yeah, you got it. Pass. And then these are what you see being led around by the bears at the Neverglade Eagle.
Otters.
The baby
Cubs.
bears.
Cubs.
They can be black, they can be white, but they're always back curious.
What? A black or white skunk? By curious.
And Aronofsky loves them.
God, I'm completely blanking. Cats? I don't know.
And they're birds. They're big white birds. They like lakes. They like ballet.
Oh, swans.
Yeah.
Swans. That's not furry.
So I cast Minor Illusion to make a little snout, a pink snout on my face.
A pig.
Yeah. I just cast a Silent Image and make a gray animal walking that has a snout, ears,
Elephant.
a mane.
An elephant.
It's short. It has a pack on its back.
Short with a pack on its back.
It's like a beast of burden. It's like
And then
Like a snout?
and the time is up, my dear.
Damn it. Wait, what? What was the clue?
a donkey.
God damn it. Okay, all right. I'm sorry.
And she says, well, congratulations to Charisma and Agrias. You
Fully flexing, just like, oh.
Charisma is
Don't
bowing
take
over and over again.
I'm complaining that swans do not have fur and like consult a book.
Let's do a nature check. For that.
And Carolyn says, all right, I know that's a valid complaint. You can take it up with the judges. And she gestures to just a bunch of black cats that are sitting there motionless watching it.
They give a thumb down.
Yeah.
But she's delighted. She says, congratulations, this team, you guys are going to be the first ones that you'll get to walk into the vault first at the end of our tour once you're members. And she says, and last, we've got the personality test. Are you guys all ready for this one?
Sure. Yeah.
Yes.
I did it. Yes.
Energy.
So she
I'm not convinced. Like, what do we know about this cult, really?
It's a game show.
She grabs Charisma by the wrist and like drags you on in to this last darkened room. There's a single plush chair in the room in front of a small raised platform. And she settles down into the chair, takes another swig of wine, and it magically refills. And she gestures for everybody to get up onto this little platform, and a spotlight turns on for each of you. And she says, all right, now everyone's got something inside them. Everyone's got something that makes them special. Hidden talent and amazing skill. I want you to show us what you got. What are you bringing to the cult of Calgon?
So Charisma starts just takes off his dressing or whatever, and unveils himself, just full ribbons from head to toe, just a gown of ribbons, basically. He starts doing pirouettes while singing "Simply the Best" and drinking martinis and smoking. And in between the "Simply the Best" chorus, during the instrumental break, he does the scene of Sally Field at the funeral in Stone Magnolias.
She is taking notes furiously the whole time as you're doing this. Just the twirling, and she's like, she loves that. Oh, ribbons! I can never get enough ribbons. And I'm gonna have you do a performance check, and you get a 22 on that. Fantastic. She is just agog. She's like, beautiful, 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 and like wipes a single tear from her eye. And then she looks to agree. She's like, how about you, honey? What are you bringing to us?
Okay. Do I have rope on me?
Everybody always seems to have rope in Dungeons & Dragons. Let's see. You've got chainmail, you've got bedroll, mess pot. You do have rope, hempen rope, 50 feet of it.
Okay. I asked the fox to help me wrap rope around myself until I'm totally constrained. And then I say, how will I ever get out of this? And then with one hand, I cast Lesser Restoration on myself and cure myself of grapple and have the ropes just fall off. And I say, the aristocrats.
Fantastic. Let me have you do I'm going to say a sleight of hand on that one, or dexterity? Let's see. I'm going to have you do dexterity, I think, for that one.
Okay.
Oh, it's the same. Well.
Yep. It's not going to be good. I got a critical 1, so I appear to have angered the judges.
So you like the ropes all fall from you, and you take a step forward to bow, and you just completely face plant on the stage.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the time of your consideration.
Wonderful. And she said, all right, not bad. We've seen worse here. Paragrinder, what do you got? What do you got there?
Paragrinder uses his minor conjuration to summon a chalkboard, and then proceeds to give a full 1-hour lecture that is just adequate about orc oppression and like manifestations of anti-orc sentiment in culture and elf privilege, and it's perfectly fine.
So I'm gonna have you roll a history check on that. That's a D20 plus 5.
Yeah.
So you'll be delighted to hear that you have rolled a 20, and she's like, we don't get a lot of lectures out here. This is fascinating stuff. She is just writing furiously in her notebook, and she drops the clipboard, and she like lowers it for a second. You can just see that she's just drawing pictures of naked orcs there.
See, but
That's equality.
That's fetishization, whatever her name is, and then we have like an extended Q&A about how orc lives matter.
I ask if it's true that acting is just reacting.
We open the floor to other commentators. Yeah. Charisma can jump in. Sure.
Yeah. Charisma is just doing a pantomime of what you're doing. Exactly. Just mouthing and doing your body language for a future show.
Carolyn looks chastened by this, and she goes, I had no idea. And you can see that she's like drawing clothing in over the orcs.
Good. That's better. I mean, she's doing her best. I appreciate we all rise to the level we can manage,
the clothing, a lot of the clothing is just like, it's really tacky swimwear. And she's like, all right, Grady, what do you have? What are you bringing to the cult, Grady?
All right. Can you still hear me? I think I just lost.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Sorry. So Grady sighs and did not want to do this, but she puts down her backpack. She takes out a little monocle and a top hat, puts it on the door, and then, you know, in A King of the Hill, when like he's always dancing with Ladybird, like he's doing like dog dancing competitions. She does that with him, and like something that's clearly been very well rehearsed. This is not off the cuff. This is something they do. She's in love with this fox, and it's clear in their dance that she's in love with him.
Oh, I'm deeply touched.
This is fantastic. I'm going to give you a point of inspiration, and let's do a performance check with advantage on that.
Okay, good, because performance is terrible for me. 15.
Carolyn is just enchanted by this. From somewhere, the sound of a slow music box is like tinkling through the room. And as you come to a halt at the end of the dance, she is just blown away by this. She just slumps in her chair and she goes, I have never have I seen. And then she like collects herself. She's like, anyway, test results. And so she looks over to Charismo, and she's like, all right. And she's looking through her notes, and she goes, all right, now, dear. Now, according to this, it looks like you are an autumn.
Oh.
And
that's my season.
That's
my
your season.
Huh?
I can see it.
All right. Yeah, me too.
It's the ribbons.
You know, I guess it is the ribbons. I'm going to be honest. I'm a little disappointed, only because I feel like autumn is a transition month, and I feel like I bring heat and fire and extreme emotions. So autumn for me is a big disappointment, but I'm a professional. So I'll take the note and I'll live with it.
She says, did you just compare yourself to a jack-o'-lantern?
Have some of that wine.
She hands you the glass of wine, and it's just like filled to the, like literally to the brim.
I swing it back, and I have not noticed yet that it keeps reappearing. So I keep forgetting what happens. So the whole time I like look at Agrias and I'm like, I truly thought that I finished this. This is crazy. I'm totally.
And she's like, all right, that's enough, honey. And she like grabs the wine glass back. And then she looks at Peregrinder next. And she says, now as for you, she's looking across her clipboard and flipping notes back and forth. She's like, this says you're a Miranda.
Not sure I see it, but again, I also will take the note. I feel like I'm more of a Charlotte, to be honest with you. But okay, all right, okay.
She looks a little huffy, and she's like, the tests don't lie, more like a charlatan. She looks at Grady, and she says, now you are a Hufflepuff. I don't even know what that means.
Can she grade the door?
Can she grade the door?
Grade the fox.
Oh, grade Vidor. So yeah, she looks down and she goes, "Oh, Slytherin." And
they're just giving us the worst of each categorization system. Autumn, Hufflepuff, Miranda.
And she looks down to Agrias. Agrias is last, and she's like, and now as for you, congratulations, you're a Libra.
I say that's the nicest thing anybody has ever said to me.
She nods and she says, it's the nicest thing I've ever said. And then like a bell rings from somewhere far away, and she's like, oh, but wait, that was your last test, dear. Congratulations. You are all our newest members of the cult. Yay! And from somewhere up above, there's like a popping sound, and some confetti just like half-heartedly flutters down over you. And she's like, now you'll want the full tour. We're going to show you around. Maybe you'll get to meet some of your colleagues here. Let me show you to the vault. That's, of course, everybody's first stop on the trip. And,
Can I ask a quick question before we start the tour?
Yeah.
It's just a hunch. Are you going to turn us into cats? Are we going to become cats, become members of the cult?
She's like, oh, these things? And she kind of like nudges one of the cats with her feet. She's like, they're our honored guests, of course. No, of course the members of the cults aren't cats. Don't be ridiculous. And she laughs kind of nervously. And she swings, she pulls you back into the reception area and pushes open a door, another locked door in the reception area, and she takes you down this hallway, and the cats are watching you from perches, and there's torches and things illuminating the hallway, and then the party comes to a large golden door. And she says, now, I'm so proud of you all, but now that you're members, the last step is you just need to make a sacrifice to Calgon. It's very easy. All you got to do is just leave something of value in the vault. It can be whatever you like, and it's just behind this door. And she like leans against the door and pushes it open with a grunt, and a blinding light strikes the party for a moment. And as your eyes adjust, you can see a massive chamber of glittering riches stretching out before you. There's gold, gemstones, weapons, crowns. There's collectible commemorative plates. The chamber is filled with rolling hills of treasure. It is more wealth than you have ever dreamed of seeing. And Carolyn says, now, whatever you like to leave here, it's up to you. And she looks around for a moment. She's like, oh no, I forgot your robes. Sorry, the membership robes. They're back in the supply closet. I'll be right back. Just hold tight here and figure out what you're going to leave behind. Some item of value, whatever you want. And she scurries off down the hallway, and you hear her footsteps disappearing into the distance. And now you are alone in that treasure chest. And it's just full of a treasure vault. And it's hard to know where to look first or what you want to check out. But I want to find out from you, if you could find any piece of treasure in here, what would it be? And we're going to start with Paragrinder.
Well, I'm on this mission because I'm doing my anthropological work. So I want to find a relic of value to the Calgon religion. Because I guess we don't know much about it. And this last little initiation test has made me more and more curious. So I'm looking for an idol to Calgon. That's what I'm going to try to find.
Okay, so in the center of the room, there's like a golden bathtub with a shower over it, surrounded by pillars. And then there's sort of the gold has been sculpted into the form of soap, like soap suds. And around the bathtub are all these like writhing Hieronymus Bosch-esque figures of misery.
Yes.
There's screaming men. There's wailing children. There's howling dogs. And then in the center of the tub is a woman's figure with a towel wrapped around her head, and she's holding aloft a bar of soap. And the bar of soap has the face of a skull carved into it. And it is clear it is not a piece of the statue. It is a detachable golden item.
Detachable. Well, now I'm in a
like,
crisis
take it out of her hand.
Conscience. I'm gonna just steal it.
Okay. So you grab that golden bar of soap.
Yeah, that's mine now.
It's quite heavy, but you've got that in your possession now. And next, we're going to go to Agrius. What treasure would you want to find in this vault?
I would want some article of clothing that I could wear over my armor that would match the scarf that I was given earlier, because I've become obsessed now with fine embroidery. I want to wear it as part of my regalia.
Fantastic. So you can see there's like a wardrobe with the doors open, and there are like golden tapestries just hanging in here, including a scarf that is embroidered elaborately with golden snakes all intertwined around each other. And it's long and glorious. It's got tassels on the end. Do you want to take that one as well?
Before I reach into it, can I use my divine sense and sense if there is anything fiendly or undead around us that could put us in danger? So I close my eyes and sense what's around me.
You mean this idol with a skull face might not have been a good idea?
I'm so mad at you. I'm like, what did I just say?
So I will say, let's see. So that was Agrius, and describe to me that was was that protection from good and evil that you were
So
casting?
just divine sense, which lets me know if there's an undead or fiend or a celestial in my area.
There is. Let me see. Let me consult with the judges. There is just a glow, like an undead glow emanating from every direction in this vault.
It's
Do
fine.
not take the scarf. Turn back at Paragrinder and just do this.
Can I gingerly return it? Is it too late to like?
Sure. Yeah. You can put it back.
All right, I'll do that. Just like Indiana Jones it. But actually, I'm gonna replace it with my bag of sand. That's what I'm gonna do.
Great.
Nice.
Great. You place it back, and now the woman is just holding a bag of sand aloft in her hand.
Yeah, perfect.
We're so
and
dead.
Charisma, what treasure would you want to find in here?
Well, I needed a lighter because I left mine on the boat, and I'm desperate. So I'm going to say a lighter.
Okay, so you find there's sort of a wardrobe next to the door, and just on top there's an elaborate sculpted golden dragon with a little handle on the back that when you click it, it produces a little jet of flame from the dragon's mouth.
Beautiful. I'll take it.
Fantastic. Okay, so you have that like jet of flame dragon there. And Grady, what would you want to find here?
Grady would want to find the validation and love of her father. But if not able to see that, Grady would love to find a like arcane two-wheeler. She wants to off-road her and Vidor together down those muddy roads in the forest.
So there is off to the side of the room, there's sort of like a golden carport, and inside there are various vehicles and things. And there's like this shimmering golden bike that it's got a little sidecar, and it already has inside of it like little fox-sized aviator glasses and scarf and a little hat. It's just the right size.
Oh yeah, I'm into it. I'd pull that out.
Do you want to like hop in or like get Vidor inside?
I get Vidor inside. I'm just kind of walking it out.
Outstanding.
It might be hard for us to get past her.
I just have my head in my hands like, I can't believe I'm going to die like this. I can't believe this is how it ends.
Should we just run? I mean, like, what do we do now?
Yes, we should run.
I do have a motorbike.
Okay, but it's a two-seater, right? I'm little.
You blew it. You had one wish and you got a two-seater.
Well, I'm little, and Charisma's good at handstands, so maybe we could get away on that.
I'm an acrobat. Yeah, I could just just do one leg on the handlebars.
Perfect.
Can I actually send Vidor out to listen at the door? Vidor is really good with hearing. He has advantage on hearing checks to see if he can hear her coming back.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And he can. So you send Vidor over to the door, and Vidor's kind of like hanging out there. And let me have you do a perception check for him.
It's a not natural, but 20.
Okay, yeah, he can hear way off down the hall. He can hear gentle snoring, and
Okay.
not much else.
She's had a lot of wine, I guess.
Yeah, she passed out.
Yeah.
And now, does anybody else? You did leave that bag of sand, so Paragrinder left the bag of sand. Does anybody else want to leave an item, leave the sacrifice, like she was saying?
I leave Captain Hepburn's shitty autobiography in the vault.
Okay, so Paragrinder left the bag of sand. Agrius has left the autobiography.
I'll leave a pair of my shoes.
And Charisma leaves a pair of shoes.
Yeah.
And Grady is going to make a motion of putting something down and cast minor illusions. There's like a little pile of money, and then walk away.
Okay, so everyone has left a sacrifice, except Grady has left it with using minor illusion. And there is sort of a rumbling sound from deep within the temple. You have definitely made out well here because you've got the golden lighter, you've got the golden sidecar. And is the party like perched on it now? Like how are you arranged?
I'm in a basket with the fox, I think.
I have one like an ancient clown. I have like one leg. I'm standing on the handlebar with one leg standing and the other one just out, balancing.
Beautiful.
So as you're heading towards the door now with this thing, and there's a low rumble inside from deep within the temple, and a spectral form appears in the center of the room over you. It is a muscular man wearing skin-tight purple robes and has a skull for a face. And he stares down at you, and he looks furiously, and he says, "Some have left sacrifices, but there are burglars amongst you. You have stolen my phylactery, but it will be your undoing." And there is a shudder in the room. And the party members who left the sacrifices, Paragrinder, Agrias, and Charisma, you feel a tingle and a swirl around yourselves. And in an instant, you three are cats.
God damn it.
Grady is the only one who remains here because you're the illusory riches that you left have not been considered sacrifices. And the face of the spectral form says, "You will be trapped in this temple forever." And with a crash, the temple begins to sink. Brackish swamp water bursts through the walls, and the room starts to fill with water rushing past everyone and through the open door to the hallway outside. And party, what would you like to do?
I would like to scoop up those 3 goddamn cats, throw them in a sidecar, and hit it.
Okay, yeah, so you gun the motor down that hallway, and you're just zooming past. There is you're swerving back and forth through the tunnels. There are cats fleeing down the hallway. They're all headed in one particular direction. You reach a crossroads. You reach a crossroads in the passageway, and you can. You're not sure which way Carolyn brought you down this passageway to get to the vault. How do you decide which passage to take?
Are the cats leaning towards one direction over the other?
Yeah, so there are the cats that are like fleeing from the temple. The cats at the party are not fully turned. They can still talk. The party can still cast spells. You can still do all your rolling of skills and everything. You just have the form of cats.
But we still have our scarves.
You see it's a cat wrapped in scarves.
Okay.
You somehow have more scarves now? It's
Yeah.
Cats that are fleeing the temple are heading off to the right.
I follow the cats.
Okay, so you gun the engine again. The cats are sprinting down this hallway, and you're zooming past them. There's vines have become disentangled from the ceiling above you as the water is like rushing. You can hear it like catching up to you and filling the temple passageway behind you. And the passageway that you're heading up is slightly inclined, so you're heading higher and higher and higher up. The vines from the walls have fallen loose, and they've entangled this bike a little bit. What do you want to do to try to disentangle yourself? Because it's now holding you back. It's become caught in the wheels.
So are they cat size and still just like conscious, or are they like human cat things?
So the party, they are just cat size. They look like cats, can still talk, can still understand what's going on, can still participate. So everyone still has all their powers and things. They're just in the form of cats.
All right, I grab Paragrinder by the scruff and put him on the handlebars to drive.
Okay, hang on.
Go, Carlos.
So I'm driving now?
Yeah, your little cat paws.
Okay, I'm driving, but I can talk, right?
Yep.
Okay, so to Agrias, because Agrias can like inspect objects. Is that the deal? You can like sense their magic?
That was a spell slot, though, and I'm out of spell slots.
Wait, I have an inspiration. Can I give you an inspiration? I have 2, I think. Do I?
Yeah, you can. There is an economy of inspiration points, so you absolutely can exchange those.
Okay, what I want to do is I have the idol of this god. So surely, if anything in our possession is going to fix anything, like maybe this can help us out. So I kind of want you to, but I can't sense that sort of thing. So I need you to tell me if there's like something particular about this idol, and then maybe we can work with that as I'm driving and as I'm humming "Magical Mr. Mistopheles" from Cats. All right.
I have a question. Are we technically polymorphed right now? Is that what happened to us?
Yeah. So it's a polymorph spell.
Can I use the remainder of my lay on hands to cure myself a polymorph? Like use the 5 left hit points to fix its status?
Can lay on
I heard an
hands
O from off screen.
cure the polymorph status?
Not this one.
So not the judges say no. It's not like a status effect. It's not a condition.
Lay on pause.
Okay.
It would fix a
Lay on pause.
Okay, so yeah, you can fix a cat with this spell now.
I can fix a cat?
Yes.
Oh, but I can't fix myself of being a cat.
Of being a cat, exactly.
Okay, I'm going to try anyway, recognize it's not working, and then lower my head and go, they were right, I really am a pussy, and then cast Detect Magic on the skull.
So the you in casting this thing on yourself, suddenly like it's just like a blast of air rushes over you, and suddenly it's like a really like nicely combed, manicured cat. Like it's really like it's like you just come back from the groomer. And when on detecting magic on this bar of soap, a passphrase reveals itself to you. The passphrase is Calgon, take me away.
I say, oh God. I say, Calgon, take me away, but like with a question mark at the end?
Yes. So as soon as you say this, there is a blast of energy behind the bike, and it is propelled forward through the hall, through this passageway, rapidly through that reception area. You can see Carolyn just kind of like snoozing in her chair behind the desk, and she goes like, "What?" And but you like zoom out past the door down the hallway. This it's like a jet propelling this bike, and you fly out of the door of the temple out onto the clearing outside the temple, landing with a wet splat in the muddy ground, just as the temple shudders once more and sinks beneath the water, bubbling and frothing for a few moments before the swamp falls silent. The party is now standing on the edge of that pool where the temple...
all those cats!
As cats.
And Carol!
Just moments before, the fog has cleared. There's a clear, bright sun shining down onto the swamp, and from deep under the water comes one last massive air bubble bursting to the surface, along with an assortment of gold coins and jewels from the vault.
Well, I'm a cat.
Yeah.
But I got the thing I wanted, so I'm going to call this a win.
I'm going to say that I was less shocked by that all collapsing than I was with Wendy Williams collapsing.
And I nod in agreement, not having no idea who Wendy Williams is. That's you and me both, sister.
So as you're standing there on the riverbank, the party is sort of like collecting. Like, you're sort of like reaching in. Like the party members who are cats are trying like pawing at the water to get the jewels and the gold to come towards you, and you're heaping it into the sidecar as best you can. And you hear sort of a splashing sound, you see that albino alligator from before that you cast friends on is just kind of like slowly working his way over to you, and he kind of like swishes his tail into the water to push some of those jewels and gold over to the riverbank. So you're able to collect everything, and the alligator accompanies the party as you head back down through the jungle back to the pickup area that where Captain Hepburn left you. And you're going through some of these riches that you found and looking over the sidecar and looking over that bar of soap. This is a priceless artifact that you've picked up. Everyone back at Peregrinder's College of Wizardry is going to be fascinated by this and will possibly be able to find a way to break that spell.
I'm cool as a cat. This is fine.
Grady has like 14 cats at home already and is excited to add some more.
Yeah, there we go. We'll figure this out.
I've needed help with animal work for the stage. I'm ready to go.
So all things considered, the party is made out fairly well from here, and you have further adventures ahead. And you walk out of this swamp into a cat-oriented life beyond anything you could have imagined, with your alligator sidekick now. And congratulations, you have completed the lost treasure of the Neverglades.
Hey!
Woo! That was awesome.
Thank you, Matt.
Yay! Amazing work, everybody. Tons of fantastic surprises from the party in there that really kept me on my toes. And I am so pleased. I'm so pleased at how this went. I'm just going to check with our... Sorry?
I think I took more notes than I had to take. Like, I was like...
That's impressive.
Like 7 doors. There's a supply closet.
Oh no, that's good. I'm delighted by that. I will say, like, in preparation for this, I have notes. Like, we have maps and everything for everyone. I don't know if you can see.
Oh yeah. See? Okay.
But we've drawn everything out. We also, just in case we needed it as reference, had a portrait of Carolyn.
Yes.
That's exactly what I imagined she looked like.
Me too.
The true hero of this story was Carolyn drinking wine that never ended.
I hope she's
I think
okay.
James Googled, like, to find that picture, Googled Florida real estate agent.
She is ultimately the winner. Yeah.
She is. We may not have seen the last of Carolyn.
Oh God, I hope she kills us all.
Well, I respect as the tower's falling down, she's just having wine and just
Definitely.
living that life. Yeah.
Definitely.
She's seen it all before. So I just want to check with our finance people to see how we're doing on the fundraiser.
We are up to $2,500, and the goal has been raised. The goalposts have been moved to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay. The new goal is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yikes. Huge thanks to everybody who got us, like, above and beyond our goal.
Yeah, thank you, everybody.
Holy cow.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Cool.
And of course, tremendous thanks to our very special guest, film scholar Bryan Wuest, media critic Carlos Maza, writer Anthony Oliveira, comic Bryan Safi. You guys did an incredible job. And tell folks who are watching where they can find you.
Probably at a Petco from here on out, considering they're all...
I'm allergic to cats, so this is going to be an adjustment for sure.
So, we'll go, Bryan. Where can folks find you online? Oh, sorry, Bryan Safi.
You can at Bryan Safi or bryansafi.com.
And Anthony?
Or Throwing Shade.
Yes, of course.
It is released every Thursday. Yeah.
Yeah, and check out the Throwing Shade tour documentary, which is fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah. And Anthony?
I'm kind of all over the place right now, but the easiest place to find me is on Twitter at meakoopa, as in MEAKOOPA.
Fantastic. Carlos?
You can find me on Twitter at gaywonk or on vox.com or vox.com's YouTube channel.
Yay. And Bryan Wuest.
I'm like a social media bottom. I don't read anything. I just read. I don't actually post anything. But BryanWuest.com has my CV if you want to hire me as a tenure track professor.
No, hire me instead. No.
I'm gonna go. You're the cat.
God damn it.
I feel like being a cat is like a selling point on a resume.
Yeah.
For diversity requirements, for sure.
Or an orc, you need to hire more orcs. As my
they come together.
Get off your soapbox.
So, and also to folks who are watching, if you've been enjoying the stream, please consider donating to Seattle Children's Hospital. You can do that at bit.ly/extralifeseattle. We're going to be continuing the stream for many more hours. We're going to 1 p.m. tomorrow.
I'm really glad you DM for us now instead of like 12 hours from now. That would have been a weird game.
Yeah. I would get a little bit. I will say, like, there have been times twice. There have been 2 occasions when I've been live streaming that I've fallen asleep while live streaming, just for a moment. And also, both times, I've been reading out loud while I fell asleep. So,
wow.
Literally, so I do this thing on, and folks, if anybody who's watching wants to join, I do this thing on Monday nights and Friday nights at 7 p.m. Pacific called Let's Read, where I just take a book and I read it out loud on the stream, and we all talk about the book that I'm reading. So we've done a lot of Miss Marple. We're doing Tales of the City right now. We do a lot of Dorothy Parker and Roald Dahl. So twice I've fallen asleep while reading out loud. And what happened was I was just reading, and it turned into just like my dream mumblings for a few moments before I snapped myself back. And I think somebody saved the clip of the first time that happened, where I'm like, the adventurers journeyed to the next realm of the Doughboy. How many times are you going to get me one of those? I mean, sorry. I'm back. So check that out to see me sleeping. But so some of the games that are coming up are we're going to be playing some Smash Brothers, some ARMS, some Mario Kart, some Jackbox. A lot of these games you can play along with us online. So viewers, I'll be giving you instructions for how you can join us either with friend codes or with the Jackbox code. Stick around for the pajama party that's starting here at 7 p.m. We've got some friends coming over to play some social games here. Check out our friend Josh Trujillo's Kickstarter for Death Saves 2. That's his new book about disasters that have happened on adventures where characters actually did die. And of course, check out our other project, Dungeons and Drag Queens. That's at dungeondrag.com, where you get drag queens up on stage to play a custom-written, super queer D&D adventure. We just did our second one, and we're going to be getting the video of that one up soon. That's the Mystery of LaBouche Gardens is the title of that one. So we just did that one for Halloween. We've got more coming up, so you can get on the mailing list here's the poster for the Mystery of LaBouche Gardens. Ta-da!
Oh my God.
There they are. Yeah, so check that out at dungeondrag.com. So thanks again to our super special guests and the party. Who knows what
Thank
adventures
you
wait.
for having us.
Thanks for running the game.
Yay! We are going to bring the stream down for just like a minute or two. We're going to have our Be Right Back screen up, but don't go anywhere. We're going to be back in just a minute or two with some games. We'll be back after a short break. But you guys, thank you again so much for making this such a huge success. I'm so pleased.
Thanks,
Yay.
guys. It's just so fun.
Thanks for watching. Remember, you can find an audio version of the adventure on my podcast, The Sewers of Paris. There's a link to the episode in the description. And if you like queer D&D adventures, check out dungeondrag.com for our show Dungeons and Drag Queens, featuring 4 queens playing through a D&D adventure live on stage. Thanks again for watching. Leave your thoughts in the comments here on YouTube. I love reading through all the feedback on videos like this. And you can also get in touch at Matt Baum on Twitter. And now, happy adventuring and good night.